Storm Lake, get ready for Honey-Kissed Pizza. Hot, delicious pizza on a whole wheat crust, loaded with the finest ingredients and kissed with a sweet touch of honey. It's gourmet pizza like you've never tasted before, served up piping hot and delivered right to your door. Call today and order the Honey-Kissed Special. 2 medium 2-topping pizzas plus 1 order of delicious cinnamon breadsticks for only $12.99. Honey on the dough, honey butter on the crust. It's great quality, it's a great value, and it's fast. Call 732-2222 for Honey-Kissed Pizza.
The air dances with the waters, which brings the rain that feeds the land, that is home to the animals. All life dances together.
In a world so connected, choosing one environmental cause can be hard. Earthshare is 40 environmental charities working together. You and your company can help by calling 1-800-MY-SHARE.
All life lives, or doesn't, together.
Here on the campus of Buena Vista College in Storm Lake, Iowa, where tonight Innovation Video is proud to bring you college wrestling. Tonight's matchup features the number 6 ranked Buena Vista Beavers taking on number 5 ranked Wartburg Knights. Hi, my name is Brad Haugen, and with me tonight is my color commentator Wade Meyer. Wade, it's number 5 versus number 6. We're a week ahead of the conference tournaments. You just don't find a match much bigger than this.
That's right, Brad. This is the second meeting between Wartburg and BV. Wartburg won the first match. Been a couple of tournaments with Wartburg. They obviously won both them. Coming in, we're looking to be pumped up for this and hopefully win the match tonight.
Right, and like we said, a very big match. Both teams obviously very fired up for this because momentum's really big heading into the tournament season. BV kind of hit a little sidetrack earlier on in the week. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's right. They had a little bit of unpleasant surprise this week. Had a little problem with infection. Jason Black obviously won't be wrestling tonight, and a couple of key injuries with Chad Tunick out with a knee injury. Also Scott Carlton, he also has a knee injury. Heard it this past weekend at the BV Duels.
That's right. We should make sure to add, though, with the losses of Black and Tunick, neither of those will be permanent. Coach Baxter just feeling that as big a meet as this is, he'd rather save them for the tournaments because that's when the real wrestling begins, a whole new season, as they say. Unfortunately for Scott Carlton, the injury he sustained will have him on crutches for at least 2 weeks now, and that's going to pretty much put an end to his season.
That's right, Brad. That's a big loss for the team. Going into the conference, we really looking at him to win some big matches there and hopefully rack up the team points for VV.
All right, let's change gears here for a minute because what we're seeing right now is the final JV match of the night. This match features BV's Tom Harbison. He's in the blue slinglet against Kevin Miller from Wartburg. The score right now is 1-0 in favor of Miller early in the second period.
That's right, Brad. Harbison, he's been wrestling 42 this year for BV on the JV. Went up a couple weights for this match. Injured early on in the season, just looking for a match to wrestle here.
You bet, getting that mat experience in so he can come back and be really strong for the Beavers. He's taking on a freshman from Wartburg. This is Kevin Williams. Williams is a freshman, has been wrestling, had started out the season at 177, has dropped himself down to 58 now, and he's looking really strong. As there you see him get in on the single leg. He's got Harbison sprawled back. Harbison doing a nice job, looking maybe not quite as big, but long enough to get so he can get a good stop in there on the takedown attempts.
Yeah, that's right, Brad. He's basically just holding his ground there and waiting for the stalemate. Ref blow the whistle, and he can get back to neutral position there.
All right. Now the referee, Clint Young, will start him off again. See Harbison dance around. Doesn't want to get into a pushing match with a guy as big as Miller. There he is on the... Ooh, couldn't get in on the outside single there. Brings him back up, and they're both tied up.
Yeah, a little bit of weight advantage there, obviously. Shot in low, got up, no points.
There, Miller in on the single leg. He gets it in. Harbison, again, an excellent job of sprawling back. Really distributing his weight well and not letting Miller get around. But there he's hooked the leg. Harbison with a tough, ooh, can't get the whizzer in on there. Looking for kind of a throw on that one. Can't really tell where he's going.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to throw him there. It's obviously going to be tough. But,
and as time expires, that'll end up with no points for either man, keeping the score at 1-0 in favor of Miller. Harbison doing an excellent job defensively on his feet.
Yeah, that's right, Brad. He shows down now and hopefully looking for get out of there, hold off some riding time, and tie this match up 1-1.
Here we go. And we're going to take a quick break here before we get ready for the varsity wrestling. We're going to take a fast commercial break here, and we're going to come right back with some more Buena Vista Beaver action. Stay tuned.
When Raymond was 6, I was afraid to take him to the playground because they were doing drugs. When he was 10, I couldn't let him play ball in the schoolyard because of the gangs. When he was 15, I wouldn't let him go to any dances because there could be a fight or a shooting. Now he's a man, and I realize he's never been a kid.
Give your children back their childhood. Do something now. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT. Together, we will take a bite out of crime.
Storm Lake, get ready for Honey-Kissed Pizza. Hot, delicious pizza on a whole wheat crust, loaded with the finest ingredients and kissed with a sweet touch of honey. It's gourmet pizza like you've never tasted before, served up piping hot and delivered right to your door. Call today and order the Honey-Kissed Special. 2 medium 2-topping pizzas plus 1 order of delicious cinnamon breadsticks for only $12.99. Honey on the dough, honey butter on the crust. It's great quality, it's a great value, and it's fast. Call 732-2222 for Honey-Kissed Pizza.
Right, and welcome back to Siebens Fieldhouse here at Buena Vista College. We've just wrapped up the JV matches. Tom Harbison losing a 3-1 heartbreaker to Kevin Miller of Wartburg. But now it's time for the big show. We got number 5 Wartburg and number 6 Buena Vista. Both teams, Wade, come in here with just very impressive records. Buena Vista at 15-4 in dual meets, Wartburg at 15-3. You just know it's going to be a heck of a barn burner.
Yeah, that's true. Both teams 3-4 losses. Buena Vista's lost to Wartburg one time. La Crosse, who's ranked number 2. Same thing with Wartburg. Other 2 losses were to Division I schools. You can't get much better wrestling than that.
That's right, and those Division I schools, we should add about this. This is a very interesting note that both of these teams you're going to see tonight participate in the National Dual Tournament in Lincoln, Nebraska. That's a tournament where you get the top dual teams in the entire nation. You saw teams like the University of Iowa, Oklahoma State, all the big dogs from Division I, 2, and 3. But Wartburg came in as the defending national runner-up. They got the invitation, and in a last-minute decision, their BV also got a shot at it.
Yeah, Coach Baxter got a call on Thursday, I believe, and down in Lincoln, they wanted him to come down there and wrestle in that big tournament.
Sounded like one of the Division I schools just didn't think they had the manpower to go in there against the big dogs, and so they pulled out early. BV got the call, and they took advantage of it.
Obviously, it was a good tournament for some people. I mean, obviously, we didn't win a lot of matches and all, but good wrestling experience for both teams.
Experiences like that are going to last us a lifetime. But let's move ahead now. Let's look at tonight's matchup. Now, Wade, we've been talking about this meet all week. Obviously, what the big thing Coach Baxter stressed was packing the gym. He wants this. He knows that the 2 teams are going to be going at it tooth and nail. He wanted the fan support on BV's side. That's why we have packed the gym night.
Yeah, it's going to be packed here tonight, and hopefully the fans will get behind BV, and we'll get a big win here tonight.
I also understand that Coach Baxter made a little deal with some of the surrounding high school coaches as he called them up and told them to bring all the wrestlers down. They got free admission for tonight's meet, and these guys are going to see a heck of a meet.
Free admission for everyone tonight. If you're listening out there, come on down. Baxter's invited 6 high school teams to come. Trying to pack the gym.
That's right. But if you can't make it down, we appreciate you watching us here on Innovation Video. Now let's look at the meet itself now. As the teams come out there for their warm-ups, and you can hear the crowd giving them their support. There go the Beavers. This is going to be a big meet for these guys. Now let's look at it. We've been talking about it all week. Wade, tell us, what do you think your keys to win for BV to win this meet are?
Well, looking back on the season here, first match, Wartburg versus BV. BV got a little bit behind. I thought they looked like they just got down on themselves and didn't wrestle as well on the upper weights, and just got worse from there on. Same thing happened last weekend here at BV against La Crosse. We got behind a little bit early, and after that, it was kind of a downfall.
You're absolutely right. Momentum is going to be a word that you and me are probably going to be saying quite a few times tonight, because that's very key in wrestling. It's a total momentum sport. You get the ball rolling one way, it's hard to get it stopped.
That's true. I think another key point is Brian Stewart of the Buena Vista Beavers added was that BV shouldn't second-guess themselves. I mean, they've lost to them a couple times already this season, but I think they can win this dual meet tonight. Right.
One thing we've noticed is Wartburg entered the season as a top-ranked team in the nation. BV was ranked number 5. And they started out the first meeting against them. They went to the Wartburg Invitational. They lost by 73 points in an individual tournament. But now, just a few weeks ago at the Cornell Invitational, BV went up against 2 of the top teams in the nation in Wartburg and number 2 ranked La Crosse of Wisconsin. La Crosse won the meet with a total of 136. Wartburg finished second with 132. BV right on their tails at 124 points.
Obviously, they've closed their gap, worked a little bit harder in the wrestling room, and they come to wrestle.
That's right. Now, you have a third point in here.
Third point is there's going to be some toss-up match nights, folks. Tracy Dietz lost to Zach Geary once already this season, 7-4. We heard he was sick, but that should be a toss-up match there. We're looking at 2 freshmen wrestling each other at 177, Matt Kruger versus Blake Williams. That'll be a toss-up match, I think. And then at 150, we have kind of a fill-in, Chad Gugamas wrestling Wood. And all 3 of those matches can go either way, and I think for BV to win the duel, that they're going to have to win those matches.
That's right. Now let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at the lineups right now. Let's go down the line, and we'll just give you a little match by match decision on what we think might be happening tonight. We start out at 118 pounds. Like we said, Chad Tunick, the sophomore out of Perry, having an excellent season so far with a 26-14 record, has to sit out this meet with. He's got a little banged up knee. They're saving him for the conference tournament. If we can get the first, there we go. You see that Brian Beck steps in there, and he's taking on Zane Braggs.
Zane Braggs, I don't know what to say about him. Runner-up last season, just tougher than heck. Beck's just out there trying his best, can't do much about it.
That's one thing to say. Beck, very intelligent wrestler, very smart. He had an excellent high school career. He's coming in this match. He knows he's going up against the number 1 ranked guy in the nation. He knows what he's got to do. He's probably not looking for the win, but he wants to give a good showing. And again, it's experience. It's going to last him a year. 126, Christensen and Ristow.
That's going to be a tough match there, Brad. Christensen lost already once this season to Ristow, but there's always the chance that Christensen come back, and he is the BV all-time leader in wins.
Yes, he is. Excellent wrestler. And Ristow himself, he's a defending 4th place finisher in the national tournament last year, so that's going to be a heck of a match. A key match from what I'm seeing. A match like that could get the momentum started for either team and keep it rolling.
Yeah, like we said, BV has to get her going early, and I think if Christensen wins that match, they'll be pumped up.
Right. We talked about Dietz and Geary, one of our toss-up matches, what we don't know. Here's another key match, 142 pounds, Dyer versus Fox.
2 matches already so far this season there, Brad. Both 6-4, last one coming in overtime.
All right, we must add that both of those matches were won by Fox, but they're both very close. All right, 150 pounds, Chad Gugamos stepping in here for the injured Jason Black. He'll be taking on Steve Wood, a junior out of Harvard, Illinois, coming in with a 23-13 record.
That's right. These split so far this season with Gugamos winning one and Wood winning one also.
All right, we're going to go over to Coach Al Baxter right now as he gives a little tribute to his graduating seniors.
Brett's from Iowa City West High School. His mother, Jan, is here. Jan, would you please stand? She's got her video camera. There she is. Okay. Brett's a 3-time Iowa Conference champion, a 3-time national qualifier. He was 7th in the nation at 118 pounds in 1991. He holds the all-time career win record here with 143 wins. He holds 7 other school records, 3-point near falls, 2-point near falls, technical falls, reversals for season and career. He's an English major and would like to coach one of these days. Brett Christensen. Next one is 142 pounds, Jeff Dyer. Jeff, come on out. Jeff's from Glenwood, Iowa. He's a two-time conference place winner, two-time national qualifier. He's a two-time academic All-American, carries a 3.4 grade point average in biology. Thinking about being a doctor one of these days. He said he'd like to operate on me. I don't think I'm going to let him do that. He's won over 90 matches in his career here at Buena Vista College. Jeff Dyer. 142 pounds, Jamie Anthem. He's from Manchester, Iowa. Jamie's always been in the same weight class as some All-American or whatever, and seems like he gets beat by 1 or 2 points. He's won well over 60 matches in his career here. One of the most dedicated athletes I've ever coached in 25 years. And he's going to be a chiropractor. So when my bones get out of joint, he'll be able to put it back in. He's going to be going to Palmer Chiropractic School. Jamie Anthem. Brad Piper has been Jamie's roommate for 4 years. Brad is from Mason City, Iowa, and had an outstanding high school career. What hurt him after he beat at the Upper Iowa Invitational, he beat a guy that was second in the nation, 12-10, and did real well there. A couple years ago, decided he was going to be an Olympic skier. Decided to go skiing over there on some slope in Mason City. Almost tore his leg off, and that messed up his wrestling for a while. But Brad has been very dedicated, and he's going to be a teacher and a coach. He's student teaching now. Matter of fact, he's in class right now. And Brad won over 60 matches in his career here at Buena Vista College. Brad Piper from Mason City. Last but not least, 150 pounds, Brian Stewart from Lisbon, Iowa. I'd like for his parents from Lisbon, Dorn and Karen Stewart, to please stand up and be recognized. Brian's the #1 ranked 150 pounder in the nation. He's going to be wrestling 158 tonight. He's a 2-time conference champion. He placed 3rd in the conference also as a sophomore. He was the most valuable wrestler in the conference, named by the coaches last year. Placed 4th in the nation also last year. He's a 3-time national qualifier. He's a 3-time Scholar All-American. He's a business major, marketing. And he just told me, he says, Coach, I want to make a lot of money. So that's what his life ambition is. He's got 129 wins right now, and we're hoping he gets about 9 or 10 more the rest of this year. These are our seniors, and I tell you, I'm going to miss them a lot. They've given us a lot of leadership, and they've given me a lot of thrills, and a lot of you fans here at Buena Vista College, the same thing. Let's hear it.
That was Coach Al Baxter giving a nice little send-off to his 5 graduating seniors from this year. Now we're going to take it to the national anthem.
If you'll please rise, face the colors at the east end of the Stevens Fieldhouse for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
All right, and we're just about ready to wrestle here in Siebens Fieldhouse in Storm Lake, Iowa. As we can see, here come the Wartburg wrestlers out onto the mat, and we'll be getting ready for the player introductions.
Wrestlers, please take your positions. Please line up.
As we see now, the captains will be taking it to the center of the mat. Referee Clint Young will be flipping the coin to see who decides who gets their first choice in each match. There you see Christensen, Dyer, and Stewart for Buena Vista, and Zane Braggs, the phenom from Wartburg.
Don't get many big wrestlers like that on the mat, do you?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
118 pounds, a senior from Dallas, Texas, Zane Braggs. 118 pounds from Buena Vista, freshman for Fort Madison, Brian Beck. 126 pounds for Wartburg, a senior from Waverly, Chris Ristow. For Buena Vista, a senior from Iowa City, Brett Christensen. 134 pounds for Wartburg, a freshman from Cedar Falls, Zach Geary. 134 pounds for Buena Vista, a junior from Marengo, Tracy Deeks. 142 pounds for Wartburg, a sophomore from Waterloo, Jamal Fox. For Buena Vista, 142 pounds, a senior from Glenwood, Jeff Dyer.
Very key match to decide the team outcome in that one.
And 150 pounds for Wartburg, a junior from DeSoto, Rudd Nelson. For Buena Vista, 150 pounds, a junior from Aurora, Nebraska, Chad Dugamos. 158 pounds for Wartburg, a junior from Independence, Eric Kimball. For Buena Vista, 158 pounds, a top-ranked 150-pounder in the nation, a senior from Lisbon, Ryan Stewart. 167 pounds for Wartburg, a junior from Manchester, Michael Doyle. For Buena Vista, 167 pounds, a sophomore from George, Tim Jagger. 177 for Wartburg, a freshman from Decorah, Blake Williams. For Buena Vista, 177, a freshman from George, Matt Kruger. At 190 for Wartburg, a senior from Searsboro, John Dawley. For Buena Vista, 190 pounds, a freshman from Webster City, Ryan Riesman. And at heavyweight for Wartburg, a junior from Johnston, Colorado, Jesse Molinar. For Buena Vista, at heavyweight, a sophomore from Charlotte, Jay Huff.
All right, there you have it, folks. The starting lineups for tonight's big Upper Iowa Conference battle. Wade, we took a look at the first 5 weights here. What do you think going down the line? What are the key matches in the last 5?
I think, like I said earlier, the toss-up match between Kruger and Blake Williams. Tim Jagger versus Doyle. They've had 3 matches already this season. Doyle's winning them all, but they've all been close matches.
That's right.
Huff versus Molinar. I think Huff needs a big win there at that match.
That's another thing we're going to have to worry about. Wins and losses, I'd almost give the key to Buena Vista with 6. I'd give them 6 out of the 10 matches there. It's all going to come down to the big extra points that you can see, and we're going to get started right now at 118 pounds. As you can see, we have Brian Beck, the freshman from Fort Madison, against Zane Braggs, and there just isn't much you can say. Look, as he goes right in there and takes him down for 2 right away.
And that's why he's number 1 in the nation there, Brad. Just all power there.
Referee Clint Young get him down. Braggs assumed the top position. 2-0 early on. Zane Bragg, he comes in the meet with 2 losses on the year, but we got to say both of those losses, neither of them are to a Division III opponent.
That's right, Brad. I think he lost 1 match at UNI to a Division I team and UNO Open. So both matches that he's lost, he hasn't lost yet at Division III.
In fact, not only has he not lost to a D3 opponent, he hasn't even been touched by a D3 opponent. I think his closest match to a Division III opponent, I think, was an 8-point decision he had against Augsburg. So just total dominance the whole year long. And Beck knows what he's got to do. He's got to just fight to him, give it his all, and there's no shame in walking off the mat with a loss in this one. Yep. Here you can see he's got tough with cross arm ride in there. Beck's fighting hard to stay off his back with Braggs.
He's just got to work through there like he did there.
No points awarded on that one, and Braggs lets him go. Beck's on top. One thing Beck's got to do is keep his head in the match. He can't be intimidated by this guy. He's just got to go out there and, like we said, give his all. Don't back away from him. You'd hate to be disqualified here. If he could come off this match with maybe only a a major or even a technical fault, that's a victory in itself.
Yeah, he saves a team point.
That's right, and that's what it's going to come down to. Like we said, those extra points here and there. This meet is so close that you really just can't say one match is going to do it all. It's going to take a total team effort up and down the line.
Looks like Braggs is working for takedowns here. Obviously, he's looking for technical fall and hasn't tried to pin him yet.
That's right. Well, obviously, there's no lack of confidence in the part of Braggs. I mean, he's been here countless number of times. He's a senior now. He's been through it 4 times. National runner-up last year. He knows that nothing's going to be stopping him this year.
That's right. The guy he lost to last year graduated from Augsburg, so he's ranked number 1.
That's right. He's the man. There's not much else you can say about him. So we'll get back to action here. He's giving him the old take him down, let him go kind of stage.
So far, what I've seen is Beck's wrestled a good match so far. He hasn't really let Braggs work what he's wanted to.
That's right. Baxter's got to be happy with that. You just can't be. He just knows that he's not supposed to be giving up the big moves. You know that Braggs had to kind of crack a smile on his face when he saw that he's going to be going up against the freshman, because he knows the experience that he has over everybody else. He knows that no matter who steps out on the mat against him, he's going to get the win.
Yeah, he's wrestled Tunic once already this year. Technical fall or pin, I believe. And I think, obviously, though, Tunic would have given him a little bit tougher match, but Beck so far has impressed me.
We got to talk about Beck. As we said, Tunic is the regular varsity wrestler at this spot. Beck's been pushing him hard. Beck started out the year kind of slow, came down with a case of pneumonia, started out slow, coming back, though, pushing, doing a really good job of keeping Tunic in the top notch, because Tunic stands right now with the record of
26-14.
26-14, and
Beck had close wrestle off with him, pushing him hard in practice.
That's right.
That's what they need down in the wrestling room.
Both wrestlers really complement themselves well, and right now, like we said, Baxter's main concern is keeping Tunic healthy for that conference tournament, because that's where Tunic's got some goals. He wants to get himself into that national tournament. He wants to.
Yes, I think he has a good chance of doing it. I mean, conference. Just heard recently that Reese, the guy from Central, is out for the season. He was ranked number 3. Tunic has a good chance.
Key injuries in there. Tunic can step himself right up in there. He's getting himself healthy right now.
And obviously he'll be able to score some big points next week then.
That's right. So at the end of the first period, the score is 10-5 in favor of Braggs. The first choice will go to Wartburg. Braggs is going to pick both up because he's been doing the job on his feet so far.
Beck's been doing great though. He hasn't let Braggs in all that often. I mean, 5 takedowns, but hey, he's wrestling number 1 guy.
You bet. And here he comes with a big throw right there. He's got Beck in trouble on this one.
Trouble now.
He's got that locked up tight. Beck's going to have to do all he can to fight off his back.
He's going to have to work the arm.
Look at that. Oh, Brian Beck showing
he had
the guts on that move. He almost had Braggs turn out. Now Braggs is in total control. He's got that lock.
It's Loctite in there.
Beck's fighting off his back.
He's in trouble.
And there's Clint Young scores at the pin. Brian Beck got this crowd moving right there when he almost had Braggs turned over.
He was very close there, Brad. I think freshman versus senior, that was the only thing.
Experience is right there, a lot of strength. And like we said, here's the big one right now.
Big match.
Christensen comes in with a 27-12 record against Ristow's 24-12 record. Both are seniors. Christensen, a 5th-year senior. This is going to be a very good match. See how these two do. Both are looking to go to nationals again. Once again, as we said earlier, Christensen was 7th 2 years ago. Sat out last year. Ristow comes back from last year's 4th place finish at nationals, so he's looking to possibly move up also. That's right. 2 All-Americans going head-to-head right now in what we think could be a very pivotal match in the outcome of this meet. Yeah, like we said, Christensen lost once already, 8-4, and also 3-2. But the 3-2 match was not that long ago, so he's been closing the gap just as BV has, and he's just got to be working, got to keep his head in the game. Right. Christensen talked about how he needed to stay in the 3rd period. I mean, he's talked about how he's in the whole match through the. There he is on a nice little duck out on that move there, but it results in no points as both wrestlers out of bounds. Go ahead, Wade. Good move by Ristow there, getting out of bounds and holding off the takedown. Clint Young brings it back to the middle, and we'll start all over again. Christensen, both wrestlers seeming to kind of stay back a little bit, sort of feeling each other out here for this first 3-minute period. Right. There, Christensen gets in on a little fireman's attempt there, but Ristow blocks him off rather well.
Yeah, looks like each of them are feeling each other out. You'll see that obviously in a big match like this. I mean, they both know what they need to do, but it's not going to be a high-scoring match, obviously.
Nope, both wrestlers be kind of a little bit on the defense. One thing that Coach Baxter I heard stressing all this week was the head controls. You see Ristow getting the head of Christensen down on the mat. Baxter said, especially in their meet against Lacrosse last weekend in the duels, that Lacrosse just seemed to kind of keep the head down, choking him out of there. That really wears the guy out, and that's something Christensen's going to have to avoid if he wants to be tough in that third period.
Right. Baxter was a little bit worried about that, so he had the team working on that head control for themselves. Good position there, and obviously works and moves from that point.
That's right. Christensen going with the double arm tie-up on this one. There's a good shot of Coach Al Baxter. He really wants Brett. He wants Brett to go out his senior year in style. He wants him in that national tournament placing really high.
Yes, obviously Brett has some high goals for himself. So does Baxter. He thinks Christensen's got what it takes to make it to the nationals and place well.
All-time leading win leader for Buena Vista College with
143.
143 victories. You know that's not too bad.
No. He's been wrestling since he's a freshman. I believe he had 40 wins when he was a freshman.
That's just phenomenal. And there, wrist out, in on the legs deep. Christensen trying to counter.
Christensen's got hold him off here.
Wrist out, if he can step over on that one, Young maybe give him two. He's looking, Christensen's got to be careful to stay off his back, and there he has to give up the two.
Right, like we said, you got to be cautious not to get pinned. And
don't want to lose this match on a fluke. 2 points is not that big a lead, and you know Christensen can fight back from that one. Now Ristow taking it tough on top. Looks like he's got a leg tied in there, and he's barring on the head pretty good. Ristow, a very large-looking 126-pounder.
Yes, he is. We talked about this earlier, how big Wartburg looked.
And now here comes Ristow. He looks like he's trying to get the tilt on there. Christensen trying to base himself out. He's going to have to come up to his knees with only 10 seconds left in the match.
Right, he's got the leg lock there, trying to Turk him over type deal.
And Ristow's going to let time expire on this one. So at the end of the first period, Ristow with that last minute takedown assumes the 2-0 lead.
Right, the last minute there, you got to hold that stuff off.
That's right. Now it looks like it's Christensen's choice. He's going to choose down to start out the second period. Wait a minute now, we got a little discussion going on the mat. Ristow doesn't know what's going on. Now we have it straightened out. Christensen will take the down position. He's going to have to get out of there right away because as we saw right there at the end of the first period, Ristow very tough on top, a very large physical wrestler.
That's right. He doesn't want to let Ristow get a minute riding time on another point.
That's right. In college rules, that'll be an extra point for the man. Ristow's got Christensen looking for the switch on this one. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. Ristow tough on those hips. There you go. And Christensen with the quick switch on there.
Good
Excellent move.
He got his hips out and worked around there.
Took him about 30 seconds, but he hung with it really tough, and he got the 2 points, and we're all tied up.
Yeah.
That's big for Christensen. That's going to give him the confidence. It's got this crowd pumped up. You can tell the attitude on Christensen. You can tell he just loves it when the crowd's behind him.
Yes, that's what they need. They need the crowd to get into it and then get everybody pumped up for these matches.
And you got to think that a match like this with a big Christensen win could really help Dietz follow through in the 134-pound match as we get back to action here. Christensen putting the legs in, trying to wrap around there.
Christensen, great tilter, leader in 2-point and 3-point near falls in the college, trying to work some moves.
Trying to get that ankle picked up there, but you can just see the size of Ristow is really kind of shutting that down. There he gets him. And Clint Young calls a stalemate, and neither man taking much of an advantageous position, and they're going to start all over.
That's right. I think it's going to be tough for Christensen to turn Ristow here. I think this match is going to be one on their feet.
It could be. It could very well come down to it. Here comes Ristow with a quick stand-up. BC putting the legs in on there. That looks to me to be potentially dangerous, but Young's not going to call it right now. Looks like Christensen still got his feet on the ground. Trying to hold on to him, and that'll be another stalemate. Questionable call right there. Now, I assume that when the bottom man stands up and you can't bring him back down the mat, that usually that's a stalling on the top man. Looks like BC may have gotten away with one there.
Christensen's got to worry about that. I mean, he can't just be throwing the legs in.
Nope. Got to keep working for the turn. There he's got a tilt.
Cheap tilt.
Very, very close on that one. Crowd wanted a 2-point near fall on that.
Crowd wanted the ref down there counting, but
not quite sure if he had him long enough. I think that scared Ristel a little bit, and that's got to keep BC fired up.
Yeah, that's what he got to keep working on that.
This will be a big confidence booster for BC coming out of this match. He's been talking about his year so far. It's been a little tougher than he thought it might be. He's
he's the first time he's wrestled up at 126 in his whole college career, so it's been a little bit different adjustment for him.
But he's got an excellent attitude. You know, he's been there for 3 years. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. Like he told us, he said, conference tournament next weekend, that's a whole new ball game. As Ristel, with the standing switch, got BC in a little bit of trouble. Christensen's got to hold on with 15 seconds left.
Ristel's got the toe there. I don't know.
That's going to be close. And referee Clint Young stops him. Young stops him for a stalemate. That's very lucky for Brett Christensen there. Didn't want to give up the reversal at the end of the period. With 2.9 seconds left, he should be able to hold on.
Hopefully he will. Good thing the stalemate call there. Get down on an ankle for 2 seconds.
Uh-oh.
No points.
No points awarded. There we go. So we're going to the second period tied up at 2. Looks like it's going to be Ristel's choice, and I'd assume he'd pick down.
Right. Looking to get out. Maybe BC has enough riding time, though.
No, he picks both up.
Like we said earlier.
One on the feet. Excellent call, Wade Meyer. Here we go now. This is going to be big.
And Christensen also told us he was kind of worried about wrestling on his feet. He said that might be one of his weaknesses, so we'll see what he's worked on this past week and the whole year, and
you bet.
See what he's got.
Now, you alluded to earlier on that this is the first time that Christensen's been up at 126, and maybe we could let our fans in on a little bit of secret here. I heard from a very good source, namely Mr. Christensen himself, that he's going to be switching weight classes for the conference tournament next week.
That's right. Christensen's going to be going down to 118. Hey, obviously he thought that'd be a good choice for him, and he told us Tunick was being great about it, and he was looking forward to wrestling at 126.
That's something we have to talk about. Chad Tunick, just an excellent sport, a team wrestler all the way through. He's going to move up to 126, and the way I look at it, I can see Tunick making it to the national tournament 126
still, yes,
pounds.
He's still got a good chance.
Sorry to interrupt you here, Wade, but it looks like Ristel's in deep on a double leg here. Christensen's getting the tilt on him.
Oh,
this is going to be tricky. Scramble situation. Now Christensen's in the advantageous position.
Christensen's got his hips out there, good sprawl position. All Ristel has to do is hold on, though.
He's a very limber wrestler. As you can see, the crowd's on its feet cheering Christensen on. He's going to hold on for this one. Look for the stalemate, possibly. Ristel still in there between the legs and can't get nothing out of it.
Christensen did a real good job there, holding off that takedown.
Excellent
Ristel
job.
was in deep.
Both wrestlers throwing each other back and forth. You can see Christensen give a little look to the crowd. He's got him behind him. He's really fired up with 46 seconds left to go.
Like we said earlier, Christensen looks pretty limber there. Obviously, he's been working on conditioning. He talked about his third period match.
And this is what it's going to come down to. 42 seconds remaining. The score's tied 2-2. Buena Vista down by 6 in the team score. Listen to the crowd getting behind him. They're going crazy. They love this guy. He's just a heck of a wrestler, a great guy.
Obviously, we saw that crowd shot there just a few seconds ago, and
there's Christensen in on the leg. He's got him in trouble.
He's got to get the knee down.
Couldn't secure anything on that one. Very close to a takedown. He's got to keep pushing for it, though. Can't let up right now. This is a very critical part. Steps over the leg.
He's got to work on the head and get around behind him for the 2.
Ties up the head. Comes around in the front headlock. He's got 2. 2 points for Brett Christensen.
He did. He just did what he needed there, folks. Pushed the head down, got around for 2.
8 seconds to go. It looks like Brett Christensen's going to come out with the win. And there it is.
Winner by decision.
Key win there, Brad. Key win. That's what we talked about. We didn't want him to get way behind.
Huge.
Christensen.
I have the feeling, and the crowd is just loving it. I have a feeling when this is all over, Wade, we're going to be talking about that match as the one that could have turned the tide for this entire meet.
That's right.
Braggs came out with a quick pin. That was probably expected. BC coming right back and getting BV right back in it. Here we come now with Dietz and Geary.
And like you talked about earlier, maybe this is a fire up Dietz a little bit after he lost earlier in the season. He's coming out fired up.
Both of these wrestlers very strong, very tough looking in it. Geary comes in here as a true freshman coming off a state championship for Cedar Falls High School last year in the Iowa State tournament. And Dietz having a heck of a year on his own.
Dietz was also a state champion.
And there Dietz has got the leg on the side of the mat. If he can pull him back in bounds, it looks like he'll get the 2-point lead.
Right.
Both toes are in.
He's
Young's
got to keep
checking
both
on.
feet in. Geary kicks out though.
Geary sprawled out of that really well, really well. You get the feeling that the crowd is really into it, and both teams are really fired up right now. I think Bristol's loss may have fired up Wartburg just as much as BC's win fired up Buena Vista.
That's true. Wartburg didn't want to get behind. They thought they could win that match.
That's right. Baxter has to be happy with the performance of his senior in his final home meet of the year, his career. A little late shove by Geary on that one. Nothing called, no harm, no foul. Take her back to the middle. Looks like the emotions have maybe calmed down just a tad bit now. Both guys were kind of bouncing around and really slapping heads with each other, but now they're kind of settled down and they're ready to wrestle.
Once again, it looks like they're filling each other out. They've wrestled once so far.
Both these wrestlers seem to kind of move themselves aside of the mat. Referee Young's gonna have to take control of that and kind of keep them in the middle there, because that's where all the action's got to happen.
Both guys got to worry about that, getting that stalling call out on the outside of that edge of the mat there.
Now Geary won the first meeting between these two wrestlers. I believe that was in the Cornell tournament. Is that right?
Yeah.
Excuse me, the Iowa Small College Duels.
Small College Duels, dual meet with Wartburg.
That's
the
right.
only dual meet we had this year.
And there, Geary
got a little wild there, and
that's right.
Dietz took advantage of it.
Dietz took control of that situation. It takes the 2-0 lead. That's good for Dietz right there. Got to get his head back in there. He said the first time he lost him wasn't feeling too well. Didn't like the way he wrestled. Really hard on himself about that one. Worked double it, about as hard as he ever has to get back into it. He really wants this match.
Talking to Dietz, that's what he said his low for the season was so far this year. Losing to Geary, he wasn't very happy about that.
That's right, and here he comes with the 2-0 lead here in the first period. Dietz kind of a wild wrestler on top, kind of likes to hop on the hips there and try to tie him up and go with those tilts and rolls, and there Geary gets to stand up in the escape for 1 point. Back to their feet now. If Dietz can keep his head on straight and just let it, like we saw in the first takedown, Geary got a little wild on there. Dietz was just ready for that right opportunity and took advantage of it.
Right. He's got to look for a good takedown position again, and hopefully he'll get the takedown once again.
Both men out here really trying to do a lot with shucking the head, pulling them by, getting kind of strength on strength right now is what it's looking like. Not a lot of leg shots so far. There's Dietz drops to a knee.
Baxter talked to you earlier about head control. Obviously, Dietz has been working on it, and so has Wartburg.
Very big. Easiest way to tire a guy out is hit him in the head. All right, 10 seconds left in the first period. Dietz holding on to that 2-1 lead. And looks like that's where we're going to stay. All right, end of the first period. Both wrestlers head back to the center. I believe this is going to be Geary's decision. Geary's going to defer his decision until the third period, and Dietz will choose the down.
Wartburg, I believe, has the odd matches, and Buena Vista has
That's
the
right.
even.
And there Dietz with the stand-up. Geary tough on that arm. But Dietz is on his feet, turns into him, and he's got the 1-point escape.
Good job there by Dietz. Got
Excellent
his hips
job.
up and out, and just worked around. Now he's got a little head control, and he's got to work that.
Like BC in the 126-pound match. Went for the move right away, didn't quite get it, but never gave up on it, and finally ended up with the points. So now they'll start off on their feet. Both wrestlers go for the tie-up on this one. Again, controlling that head. They're pushing and shoving right there.
I'm sure Clint Young is telling these guys to work in, stay in balance.
Yep, we got to keep a lot. Oh, Dietz, excellent on the fireman's. Comes out behind, he's got that leg.
Once again, they're on the edge of the mat. He had to pull him back in, and he was concerned about keeping him in mind.
That's right. That's right. If he can get that move in the center of the mat, that would have been a takedown, I think, for Tracy Dietz. There he drops in low again. Dietz is so quick for a 134-pounder. He moved up a weight last year, wrestled at 126.
26, qualified for nationals last year.
That's right.
126. Tougher than heck this year.
He's been doing a lot of lifting, trying to get himself bigger, but it looks like he hasn't lost any of that quickness that got him to nationals last year.
looking to be a conference champion and an All-American this year. I think he has a good chance of it.
That's right. When he sets a goal for himself, he works really hard at it.
This will be a key match for conference also. I mean,
seeding's very big going into next week because you like Coach Baxter told me, you want to get as high a seed as possible, so you let the other guys kind of battle it out with each other. A top seed would be really good for Tracy Dietz right now if he can do it.
I'm sure this will be the deciding factor, even though Geary has already won one match. Cause
that's right.
Later in the season.
Yep, the conference dual meets are the one that count the most. So with about 25 seconds left in the second period, Dietz holding on to a 3-1 lead over freshman Zach Geary from Wartburg. Our team score is 6-3 in favor of Wartburg. Both wrestlers break off here. I don't know, Wade. From what I've seen, Geary really hasn't taken a serious shot at the legs right now. He's just been kind of trying to shuck by, maybe push him around a little bit, and Dietz has been the one instigating all the action.
That's true. Geary really hasn't made a real effort at trying to get anything going.
Okay, so we're going to start the third period. Geary, as we said, deferred his decision. He'll choose the down position. Dietz going to try to ride him here for a while. Geary did an excellent job of escaping in the first. We'll see how it goes here. Again, Dietz putting in the legs. Very dangerous wrestler. Kind of unorthodox, in a way, a little unorthodox. Really kind of got to scare Coach Baxter a little bit when he throws those legs in, but he uses them pretty effectively.
Wrestles a little bit like Brian Stewart, I think.
Yeah, you'll see that influence later on at 158 pounds. Dietz gets an arm tied up right there.
Yeah, he's doing a real good job controlling the hips and staying back on him.
That's right. Got to be careful there where he brings him down. Doesn't want to bring him on top, and there. Geary gets the escape.
He did a good job getting his hips out, and that's what
he did. To do. He knew that Dietz was trying to pull him back, and so he just popped his hips out and went the opposite way, got the escape. That makes the score 3-2 in favor of Dietz here in the third period.
Riding time won't be a factor in this match. Neither man has kept either one down for long. Dietz obviously has a little bit of riding time.
Not enough to qualify for the minute or the point for a minute of riding time. Looks like Geary's gonna have to get his shoe tied right there. If I can see a little orange shoelace flashing around in there, maybe Dietz could take advantage of that. You never know.
That's true.
Stranger things have happened.
That's right.
Now here's a critical point, I think, for Dietz. He's got to keep like we said, he pushed the action for the first two periods. He's got to keep that up. He can't let up.
Yeah,
a stalling call would be just very critical.
Even though he's leading 3-2, he's got to keep his head in the match and keep going. I mean, you can't win the match by just quitting.
Nope.
And that was a good attempt there just to keep going.
He's got to be looking for the win and not holding on for it.
That's right.
As Geary does finally tie his shoes, he must have been listening to me there, I think, you know. Clint Young brings him back to the middle. 30 seconds left in the third period. Dietz still holding on to that 3-2 lead.
He's got to work forward.
Yes, he does. Can't be pushed back. Young hasn't called a stalling yet. Both these wrestlers are wrestling a lot on the outer edge.
That's true.
Dietz. Ooh, he's got a front headlock right in there. If he can pull him back in, maybe. Geary trying hard to get out of bounds.
If he attempts to pull him back in and hold him down in the middle of the mat a little bit longer, he can run some time off the clock and hold on.
That's right. That killed some critical time there for Geary. He's only got 8 seconds left. He needs a takedown. Neither man been warned, so actually, in all reality, Dietz could give up the warning, and there he goes.
That's right. And he's done that, I think, and we got another key.
And there it is. Oh! Geary does not look too happy. Tracy Dietz keeping the Buena Vista ball rolling with a big 3-2 decision over Zach Geary, avenging an earlier season loss.
Another key win. We've tied the match up 6-6 now, and
that's right.
Into the 142 match, Dyer looks a little bit pumped up for this.
We got some momentum. As we said earlier, both these guys have met twice earlier. Both matches won by Fox by an identical 6-4 score. The second one being in overtime.
It's been practically the same story all night so far. Buena Vista guys have been lost earlier matches to the Wartburg team, but
getting the revenge on them. That's what it takes.
Closer, hasn't it?
You bet. This is an interesting match. You look at Dyer, and the first time I ever saw him, I thought basketball. He's not built like your typical wrestler, but he uses that length, and right in there, as you can see, gets in deep on the ankle. He's got Fox in trouble.
Some people would use that as disadvantage, but
if he can come through and get his hips turned around, he's going to get 2 points. He's going for it. And takedown for Jeff Dyer. That's huge. taking the early 2-0 lead over Fox.
Obviously, he used his height to advantage there. Fox a little bit shorter, got in on his legs and worked it out.
Like we said about Dietz, Dyer seems to be another one of those guys that just loves to get the crowd behind him, gets him really fired up. He's really wrestling tough right now. He's another one of those ones looking for the national placing this year. He's been a 2-time academic All-American, which means he's an excellent student as well as an athlete. This year he's looking to get it on the mat also, getting to nationals and placing up there.
As Al Baxter said earlier, 3.4 grade point average in biology, looking to be a doctor, and hey, qualifying for nationals twice ain't bad either.
No, it's not. Both wrestlers on the side of the mat. Now Fox, as we saw, got a quick escape right there, so that makes the score 2-1 in favor of Dyer, and they'll bring it back to the middle.
Looked like Fox was complaining about something there.
Fox looks like maybe thought his headgear was getting grabbed a little too much. Clint Young didn't see it. I didn't either. We'll just see how it goes. Dyer using those long arms just to wrap around his opponent. It's amazing to watch almost, just the way he can reach out there and grab onto something that most people couldn't get at.
And Dyer told us earlier he thought he lost those 2 matches to Fox in the 3rd period. Like Christensen was saying,
Yep.
He's got to wrestle in the 3rd a little bit better. He's got an early lead here now.
Right. And like we said, like we've been saying, the big matches for Buena Vista are going to be the conference and the national tournaments. And these guys have been working out, and if they get there, they don't need to be in shape until they get out there next weekend for the national tournament. That's when they got to do the wins. Dyer told us another thing. He thought he'd maybe have won a tournament by this time this year, and he hasn't yet. That's kind of got him down a little bit. But I'm thinking that he'd make up for all that if he could get a national title, or at least a conference title.
I'm sure he'd trade that for any tournament during the
Fox.
season.
Fox had a nice, he locked up the leg, almost looked like he was going to get a cradle out of that, but ends up with a 2-point takedown to take a 3-2 lead.
Dyer did a good job of fighting that off.
Right, could have been a very dangerous situation.
Want to stay off his back as much as possible. Fox does have control of the arm though now.
Both on the edge of the mat. Fox looking to maybe turn, but I don't think he'll get anything there. They're too close to the out of bounds. And there Clint Young finally calls him out. They'll go back to the middle and start over. Dyer will be in the down position. We're all tied up on the team score. Fox has got a 3-2 lead over Buena Vista's Dyer here at 142 pounds. Looks like Jamal Fox jumped a little bit on that one.
Dyer had 10 seconds there. Looking to get out real quick.
And just couldn't get around there. So we'll go into the 2nd period. Fox holding on to that 3-2 lead. He's a sophomore out of Waterloo, Iowa. Comes into this meet with a 37-7 record. Quite impressive.
Yeah. Dyer also 27-14 though. Not too bad himself.
No. He's a senior out of Glenwood, wrestling his final home match in the Beaver Dome. He's looking to go out, just like we said with Christensen, in a big way. Clint Young stops the action there. They'll start over with Dyer on top. Another look at the coaching staff right there. The coaches Piper, Baxter, and Peters.
Yes.
Peters, excuse me, Piper. That was one of the seniors that Al introduced before the meet. That's right. Here, Jamal Fox did a good job of turning himself around on Dyer. Dyer still got to hold that leg to keep control.
Dyer's got to work to get his hips up. And
he's going to have to hold on to that, or Young's going to give
out.
Fox the escape on here. Fox doing a good job of. He's going to have to. He's trying to break those hands.
All Dyer's looking for is a stalemate.
And he got it right there.
Dyer's looking to possibly get some riding time and also looking for the back points here. He's got it sort of in a tilt position here if he can work it right.
Knows Buena Vista really likes to go towards that tilt. You know, they really like breaking the hips down and kind of getting them on their side, getting those 2-3 points here and there. Really doesn't work too well for the pin.
No, but
you get the back points and keep the lead going.
And it's not that hard to get either. It doesn't take a whole lot of energy as trying to, say, get an arm bar or something else.
That's right. No improvement on that one, so Young will start him over again. Fox still down.
Dyer's on the ankle right away.
Uh-oh, Fox up to his feet. Tries a switch, and he'll get the escape on that one. Dyer did lose control before they went out of bounds. That's a pretty good call by Clint Young right there, I think. Dyer kind of ended up on the floor, but doesn't look to be affected by it at all. They'll start back at his feet. Fox got the 4-2 lead. Both these wrestlers moved up a weight from last year. Both spent last year at 134 pounds, but neither of them really looking like they're too small for the weight. Like we said, Dyer, very thin, lanky wrestler. Looks like he got a poke in the eye right there. He's going to take a quick timeout.
Yeah, Dyer also said, though, he's not cut as much weight as last year.
And
obviously, it's helped his wrestling a little bit. Talked about how he's been practicing to get in shape and not have to worry about cutting weight as much.
Right. He's worked out year-round since the national tournament last year. He's been in the room almost every day, running and lifting, just been doing what it takes, and he's ready. He's getting himself ready for the big tournaments in the next 2 weeks.
And we see there, Fox is doing a good job with the head control, and he's got Dyer there.
Got the front headlock locked up pretty good. Baxter, again, got to be a little upset at that. He wanted his wrestlers to keep their heads up, didn't want the control in there. Fox just using his brute strength and quickness to get around behind him and get the 2 points for a 6-2 lead.
Effective the head control is. Fox has 2 takedowns from that position so far already.
Dyer could really use an escape right now to give himself, keep himself within 3 points going into the third period, because it's going to be his choice, and I'd assume he'd pick down.
Right, and he talked about how he's going to have to wrestle a lot better in the third period if he wants to beat Fox.
That's right, and it looks like he's going to come down. He's going to have to wrestle an excellent third period right now. And that's the end of the second. So the score is 6-2 in favor of Jamal Fox Wartburg over Jeff Dyer from Buena Vista. And like we said, Dyer will pick the down position. He's going to have to get out of there right away.
He can't allow Fox to hold him down there, get some riding time, and also take some time off the clock.
Nope. He needs to score points, and he needs to score them fast. But it's within his range, and he can do it.
And also, Dyer adds that his greatest attribute is that he is never out of a match. He can always get the pin.
That's right. We've seen him quite a few times out here this year where he seems like maybe not wrestling the best he has all year, and then he's behind going in the third period, and here he ends up in a situation where he can get a guy to his back when he needs to. There he gets the 1 point escape, but Fox right back in with a cradle. Dyer's got to fight. He's got to stay off his back for that one. Like we said, these guys, of course, they all want the win, but they got to be careful to give up the extra team points. Dyer gets the escape. He's trailing by 4.
He's not obviously not real happy about that.
No, he's not. A little upset with himself for letting himself get caught in that, but he's coming back. He knows what he can do.
Down by 4 with about a minute and a half left. He's not out of it yet.
No, he's not. Oh, and there, Fox. That was Fox. Look at that. You can see where Fox's strength is kind of taken over. He's just... Fox is wrestling like a man possessed right now. Where was this the first 2 periods?
I'm not sure, but Dyer needs to get control of himself here and not let Fox get the major win.
14-5 now gives him a 9-point lead. That'll give him a major decision and an extra team point.
That's not what Buena Vista needs.
Dyer's got to settle down. It looks like he got himself a little bit frustrated, and Fox took advantage of that, just going on a flurry right there. I don't know where that came from.
Fox obviously took him out of his match.
That's something that can't happen. With 30 seconds left, a reversal or an escape. Oh, and Fox, had the cradle locked up, couldn't get him turned over.
Dyer needs to get out in these last 30 seconds.
He really does.
To hold the team point off.
Got to save that team point. As you can see, the coach is firing up Chad Gugamos for his 150-pound match. Fox still riding tough on top. He really bars that arm on hard. There it was a little bit higher than referee Clinton Young likes to see it, and he had to break him up. Dyer's got to settle himself down right now. He's got to shake it off.
He's got 20 seconds to get out.
He needs 2 points right now to save. No, he's got 6.
He needs 1.
He needs 1 point now. If he can get the escape, that'll save a team fight for Buena Vista.
He's got to keep hand control and get up.
He's got to keep moving. Can't be sitting down there. Fox doing a good job around the waist. Dyer turns into him, but Jamal's got that arm locked in there.
That's what he needed to do to hold him down, too.
And that's how it's going to end, it looks like, folks.
Big win for Wartburg there.
Very big win. Fox with a flurry at the end of the match to come out, pull ahead after being up by only 3, wins the match 14-6.
Took Dyer out of his match, and you can see what happened.
It really did. So that's going to make our team score 10-6 in favor of Wartburg. Hopefully that doesn't switch the momentum, because here's another one of those toss-up matches that we think Buena Vista needed. Chad Gugamos stepping into the 150-pound spot to take on Rudd Nelson, a junior from DeSoto, coming in with here with a 500 record, 11-11. This is a match BV needs.
That's right, Brad. Guggemos had wrestled 2 earlier matches with the other Wartburg 150-pounder and split with him. Obviously, Wartburg thought they had a better chance with this guy to beat Guggemos.
This may have been a surprise to Guggemos too, because they were probably expecting for Brian Stewart to be wrestling at 150 pounds, like PA announcer Jay Miller said before the meet started. Stewart, the number 1 ranked wrestler at 150, comes in here after a 4th place finish at Nationals next year. He had to move up due to the injury to Black.
That's right. This past week, Black sustained an infection, and he won't be wrestling, and that hurt the team a little bit. But Guggemos is a good wrestler, and he has a little bit of experience.
That's right. He's a junior. He comes into the meet with a 13-11 record. At 150 pounds, he's 11-8. Splits his time at 158 also. 2-5 in the dual meets, and he's looking to improve that right now because this would be a big win for the Beavers.
This is one of the toss-up matches that could go either way, and I think BV has to win this one.
Especially going in after this match, we'll be taking an intermission, and this would be good for Buena Vista to go into the locker room with
even with the 10-9.
That's right, being down by only 1 point. Because the way we look at it, the heavier weights, BV could be favored in almost all of them, if not all of them.
Well, with the exception of 190. I mean, Wartburg has Dowley, 3-time All-American, but Riesland did wrestle him tough earlier this year, and he only lost 6-2.
I never count Ryan Riesland out. He's just a tough, tooth and nails kind of kid. We're going to see what he can do. But right now, we're back to Guggemos and Wood right now. Or Nelson, excuse me. That's Rudd Nelson at 150 pounds for Wartburg.
Nelson, he's cut a little bit of weight this season. He has been up to 77.
He's been all over the range. He fills in wherever Wartburg coach Jim Miller thinks he needs him, and he's doing the job for him, coming in with an 11-11 record, not too shabby, especially at this level. So with a minute left in the first period, we're still scoreless here. Neither man really getting in on too much for takedown attempts whatsoever.
Yeah, and we saw earlier where Clint Young cautioned both guys for stalling.
That's right. So both that could come into play later on in the match if one person maybe gets a little bit tired. They don't want to give up that point right there. Here, Nelson in on the leg. He's got a single leg. He's got it up pretty high. Guggemos he's got a whizzer in there, but he's gonna have to get that leg back down there and break free of this one.
He's got to work to break the lock of Nelson there and fight off that. He's doing a good job so far.
Coming kind of close to the end. Nelson goes for the trip, can't get it. Still working on that leg. He's got it up pretty high right now. Excellent job. Chad Guggemos stepping the leg back down, breaking the hold of Nelson, and both wrestlers still
That's
scoreless.
what he needed to do. There was only 20 seconds left, and he didn't really want to give up a
That's
two-point
right.
takedown with that little time left in the period.
Right at the end of the period. That's the worst time to do it because it kind of just sort of gets you kind of down going into the second period. So looks like we're going to head into the second with a scoreless match right here. And we do. So after one period, our score is still tied at 0. Wartburg with the team lead, however, 10-6 over Buena Vista. Guggemos gets his choice. He's going to choose down.
No, I think Wartburg deferred there.
Wartburg deferred to Guggemos, who chose down.
That's right.
Ooh. A little quick on the draw there for Rudd Nelson. Gets the caution from Clint Young. Not too serious of a call right there. You see that? Guggemos quick on the switch. Can't get it. Nelson follows really well. Guggemos got to start over.
He needed to get clear his arm there a little bit better and hopefully get his hips out and around.
That's right. Got to keep moving. Can't give up on that first move. You got to keep moving and keep the action rolling. Maybe tire Nelson out or something and get your points when you need them, because Guggemos does not want to stay down here too long.
That's right. He's got to work to get to his base there and hopefully get out before any riding time accumulates.
There we get a good shot of Nelson on the ride. He's got a hand through the crotch and he's barring on that arm pretty hard. Tough for Guggemos to get up on that. There he goes. Nelson goes to the ankle. He can't ride on that too long.
That's right, and he may be able to hear Baxter in the background telling Guggemos to get his head up. He's got to
That's
work.
right. He's got to look.
It's been a minute there for riding time.
There we got a warrant. That's going to go against Rudd Nelson. Wartburg coach Jim Miller not too happy with that call.
And like
I don't
you
know.
said, he was riding the ankle, though.
You only get about 5-6 seconds on that ankle, and if the referees feel that you're not taking advantage of it, then you got to move on. You got to go to another move. The whole point of wrestling, it's total action sport. The referees, they're good for the fans, I think, because they want to keep the action moving. The ultimate win in wrestling is the pin, and that's what they want everybody to keep striving for. And Rudd Nelson just wasn't doing the job. As you see, he explains his call to Jim Miller, who really did not like the call.
Nelson had to work. He had to work to get off the hips, and he was just riding.
There, Nelson again, just a little quick on the draw. Just looks like he can't hold himself down on that one. So Gugamos gets the point on that one for the stall. That's the second warning against Rudd Nelson. Here he comes out quick.
Gugamos is out quick, and he's got to clear that leg there.
Got to get it free coming up behind. Maybe could even get a reversal right here. He's going to try to put a crossface on.
Possibility that would help him. He'd be up 3-0 there and try to work that off 1 point riding time.
And he's not going to get it on that because Clint Young calls a stalemate on that one. Backs are happy with the action from his young man, though. So we'll start all over. 38 seconds left. Gugamos ahead by 1 in the second period. Here he goes for the stand-up. Gets about halfway up. Rudd Nelson tough on that arm.
Yeah, he's riding that arm real well, and Clint Young might have to caution him once again.
There, Gugamos to his feet. He turns into him, looking for the switch. He's coming around on the side of the mat.
Key move there. He got the switch with 20 seconds left in the match. Now he has to work to just hold him down.
That's right.
Ride him out. I believe
ahead.
if he holds him down, he'll be able to knock off that riding time and be up 3-0 instead of 3-1.
We're hoping so right now. Very key move for Chad Gugamos. Right on the edge of the mat. Maybe Nelson let up a little bit, thinking he could get out of bounds. Gugamos said, no way, buddy. I'm getting the points. So the clock ticks away as Gugamos holds on there. And that'll do it for the second period. Chad Gugamos with a flurry at the end there, taking the 3-0 lead over Rudd Nelson.
Did a real good job of moving his hips and getting out.
That's right. Now we'll move into the third period. It's Nelson's choice. Looks like Coach Miller told him to take down, and he wants him out of there. See backs are yelling encouragement to his young wrestler, Chad Gugamos.
I believe he was talking to him about riding time.
Got to fight that off. See, I think Gugamos or Nelson there might still have that point for riding time, and Gugamos gonna have to hold on to him for a little while to try to erase that. Goes for the arm. Nice little trip right there.
Otherwise, it's a still 3-1 match, and if Nelson gets a takedown, it's tied up.
Good call. Good call, Wade. Both wrestlers on the side there. Gugamos also another one of those leg riders, liking to stay up on the hips, cranking on the arms.
He's got the leg in now. It looks
yes,
like
he
he's
does.
got to work back a little bit, stay on the hips, and keep in control.
And Nelson crawls himself out of bounds. Didn't like that situation. They're going to start all over. We've said it a few times here, Wade. This is a very key match for Buena Vista, especially going into the intermission. They'd like to close that 4-point gap that they face right now. And Gugamos doing his job, holding on to a 3-0 lead.
That's right. That's one of the keys to winning this match. We talked about how BV didn't want to get behind early, and they haven't done that. They've kept it close.
Riding tough on that hips. I believe that his 1 minute riding time should be erased by now.
Now he has to worry about getting that stalling call against himself.
That's right, because the same thing happened to Rudd Nelson. Couldn't take advantage, couldn't turn him over, and Clint Young called the stall. Gugamos looking maybe for a tilt right there. He's coming pretty close.
Possibility. He's got to underhook that arm a little bit.
He's got to watch himself too, though. Wouldn't want to end up with pinning himself. As you can see, Rudd Nelson tough on that toe.
He's got to work to get back on the hips and get back.
That's right. A little bit too high right there. He's going to have to scoot himself back, or maybe there, and he gives up the 1 point. That's probably a good call by Chad Gugamos, because he was in danger of maybe giving up a 2-point reversal, possibly to his back.
That's right.
And another match is going to come down to both wrestlers being on their feet. Gugamos with a 3-1 lead with 30 seconds left in the third period. Buena Vista down by 4 in the team score.
Third period wrestling once again. Gugamos has to stay in good position and keep going. He can't move backwards because he also has a strong call against him.
And now that crowd's getting into it. They're trying to fire up that Beaver wrestler. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
See, now
there's the warning call against Gugamos.
That makes the score 3-2. Nelson gets a takedown and he'll win the match.
Gugamos might want to be thinking about getting a takedown of his own right now. 10 seconds left.
He's got to work forward.
He's got to keep moving. 5 seconds. He's got to Nelson goes in for a shot. Gugamos holds him off. And that'll do it. Chad Gugamos pulling off the 3-2 win for Buena Vista. That'll make the team score 10-9 going into intermission.
So far, their move has worked off. Black's loss hasn't really hurt them yet.
Nope, not too bad. We're going to see how it affects Brian Stewart coming into the second half, moving up a weight class. But Buena Vista got to be happy so far as both teams leave for the locker rooms right now, take about a 7-minute intermission. Both teams got to be happy with what they've accomplished so far, especially Buena Vista.
That's right, and once again, you got to talk about getting behind early. Buena Vista is still in this match.
That's right.
They're in very good position.
I'd have to say that the momentum right now has got to be sitting on BV's side, even with the loss.
Especially with the big win here at 150.
That's right. Even Dyer's loss, I really don't think that made too big of a difference right now. BV's got to come back after this intermission. They got to really fight hard.
So far, BV has won the big matches.
Yes, they have, the ones we've been keying on. That could prove to be pretty big for them after the meet is over. So, after an exciting first half of wrestling weight, it looks like you and me are going to have to change gears for a little while because for your entertainment, we have the Buena Vista Beaver Dance Line. They'll be taking the mat right now. And if I could, we'll see here. They'll be down in the corner of the gym there, and the BV Dance Line will be dancing tonight to KLF's 3 a.m. Eternal. The dance is choreographed by Shannon Beecher, and the dance line night in April. Excuse me. The dance line has many events planned for this year. For example, March 4th, they'll be traveling to Alta to perform for the Alta Dance Team Night. On March 5th, the following night, they'll be dancing at the BV Drill Team Night.
Get ready for Honey Kiss Pizza, hot, delicious pizza on a whole wheat crust, loaded with the finest ingredients and kissed with a sweet touch of honey. It's gourmet pizza like you've never tasted before, served up piping hot and delivered right to your door. Call today and order the Honey Kiss Special. 2 medium 2-topping pizzas plus 1 order of delicious cinnamon breadsticks for only $12.99. Honey on the dough, honey butter on the crust. It's great quality, it's a great value, and it's fast. Call 732-2222 for Honey Kiss Pizza.
Drunk driving doesn't just kill drunk drivers. Next time your friend insists on driving drunk, do whatever it takes to stop him.
All right, and we're back here at the Beaver Dome for tonight's Upper Iowa Conference wrestling meet between the number 5 ranked Wartburg Knights and your own number 6 ranked Buena Vista Beavers. I'm Brad Haugen, along with me again is Wade Meyer. And Wade, we're going into here now, BV only trailing by 1, and they got a lot of big matches ahead.
Great meet so far there, Brad. 10-9. You don't get much closer than that, do you?
No, you don't. And here, the first match coming in out of intermission is going to be a big one, because we got Brian Stewart, top-ranked wrestler at 150 pounds, moving up with the loss of Jason Black to take on Eric Kimball. Kimball's a junior out of Independence, Iowa, coming into this meet with a very impressive 31-8 record. Now, BV had initially planned it with Stewart at 150 to get the big win against Nelson. Now Stewart moves up to 158. His goals have to kind of change a little bit.
That's right. Against Nelson, his goals would have been probably technical fall, maybe a little bit less major decision. But against Kimball, 31-8, he's got to look for the win first.
That's right. Got to be very careful. Can't get it out. Stewart he's done an excellent job for Buena Vista. Probably the most valuable wrestler they've had this year. Not only on the mat, but off the mat, in the wrestling room. Just an excellent leader, really doing the job for him.
Great leader. He's got 129 wins. That'd be second on the list.
That's right behind his teammate, Brett Christensen. And we look down the line here, 167. Tim Jagger, the sophomore from Georgia, will face Michael Doyle, a returning All-American for Wartburg. Another key match.
Jagger's lost to him 3 times this season, but been close matches. This is a toss-up.
I think the first one he wrestled against him was a 9-0 decision won by Doyle, but then he came back to lose only by 2 points. 3-1 was the score there, and their last meeting was a 8-3 win by Doyle at the Cornell Invitational. That was in the finals of that meet.
So obviously Jagger has an excellent chance of beating Doyle.
There's no doubt.
He wrestles well like Dietz and Christensen so far.
That's right.
He's in the match.
Seems like Buena Vista did an excellent job coming out when they needed it. The right guys have been doing the right things. It's just Coach Baxter's got to be very happy so far. And here he gets his team huddled down in the corner, ready to get that second half push in there. These boys are fired up, and you can tell.
And I'm sure he's telling them about the momentum has definitely swung their way, and Stewart's got to keep it going with the big win.
That's right. They got to keep that momentum moving. We've said that earlier. Momentum playing a big role in this sport. They really like to get that going. There they break out of their huddle. Get a shot of the cheerleaders there. They're taking a little break here before we get set for our second half action.
And they got to keep everybody pumping the audience.
The crowd's going to be roaring here because they love this guy. Here comes Brian Stewart.
Eric Kimball, Buena Vista, Brian Stewart.
You can hear in the background, Stu.
Yep, man, it sounded like boos to the people at home, but that's out of love and affection for their #1 ranked wrestler, Brian Stewart. Big match. Stewart hopefully going to try to avoid the weight advantage that Kimball will obviously have, because as we said, Stewart had to move up the weight here, but he does anything he can for the team. Baxter told him on Monday, he says, "Are you going to be able to move up 58?" And he said, "No problem, Coach." He's ready to go.
I'm sure Stewart will be able to handle this fairly well, but this might be an advantage for Wartburg. Hey, they got the weight advantage here, and they're looking for a kind of a controversial big win here.
Now we got to talk here. Now Stewart does have one loss to a Wartburg wrestler earlier on this year. I believe it was the Wartburg Invitational that Stewart went up against. I believe it was John Mast, who isn't wrestling in this meet. Stewart actually lost that meet by a fall. As you can see him getting in on the legs there on the side of the mat. Get back to my story later. He's going to try to pull him in.
He's got to pull him back in.
He's got that leg hooked. There he's
tried to fling the winner
Kimball's
there.
just flaying out of bounds, and Stewart ends up with no points, but that's a good shot for Stewart. As I was saying, he wrestled Mast at the Wartburg Invitational Round this year, lost by a fall. And from what I understand, that I didn't get to see the match myself, I believe Stewart got in on a cradle on there, and as he was pulling Mast over, ended up on his back momentarily, and the ref called the quick pin. That really got him upset.
That's right. Stewart's a very unorthodox wrestler, and he gets him in some precarious positions, and once you get there, it's tough to get out, and ref called the pin.
That's right. He came back right after that match to win 4 straight matches, the closest of which being a 13-0 decision for 3rd place. So
obviously, it fired him up.
You could tell that got him upset. And he's been wrestling really well for Buena Vista, as we said. Comes into the meet with a 37-4 record. Aside from the 1 loss to Master, those other losses were to the 2 Division I schools that
and
we had.
A Division II All-American.
And a Division II
that
All-American.
he had beaten. And I believe the match that he lost to that Division II All-American, he was injured.
So here we go, back to the center. We're still scoreless here in the first period. As we said before, Buena Vista trailing in the team score by 1 point. Kimball in on the legs, can't get it. Stewart comes right back with a single leg attempt of his own, and he ends up with 2 points. Excellent motion. There. Excellent motion.
Kimball might have had the advantage, but Stewart took it his way and took him down for 2.
Stewart's really been wrestling well. You can tell with the experience he's had, he knows when to get himself really fired up and really key to going, and he's looking towards the conference and national tournament. Last year he got 4th place. I don't think he'll settle for that this year. He's looking for number 1.
No, he's wrestled Heath Grimm from Luther, 2nd ranked man, and beat him pretty easily. So
handled him early on in the season. That's right. There he goes for a little arm spin. Comes from behind.
Takedown for Stewart.
2 more points for Brian Stewart. You can tell, may not be quite as heavy as Kimball, but you can tell his quickness is really a big advantage to him.
Big advantage for him. He's quick, and he's got the moves.
So now he's looking for a arm breakdown there. Kimball doing a nice job staying on his base. Gets Stewart knocked over to his hips. Coming up with that leg. Almost back points on that one. Just pretty close.
That's right. He's got the arm barred, and he's looking for cheap tilt points.
Here he goes for it. Ooh.
Lost the arm bar there on that try.
Stewart doesn't want to get into a muscle match with this guy, because obviously Kimball, being the bigger wrestler, probably has a little more muscle to him. Stewart's just got to keep moving, out moving, as he's done so far. There he got him. Ooh. Close, that was darn close to 2 back points right there.
That's right.
Stewart had him turned over for quite a while.
Had the half Nelson worked in there and working with the tilt there.
Clint Young will start him off again. Stewart again trying to bring him across his hips like he has been. So he's got a leg locked in there. Kimball working on that ankle. There you get a good shot. There's Scott Carlton.
Scott Carlton, he's worked into this match here.
That's right. He's Buena Vista's regular 177-pounder, suffered a severe knee injury last weekend in the Buena Vista duels and is out for the season, but still coming out and supporting his teammates as best as he can. Really a class act. Stewart doing a good job of riding the much bigger Kimball right now, doing a good job keeping him broken down.
That's a good point. It looks like Stewart is kind of trying to work him down here on the mat a little bit, tire him out a little bit.
That's right. He's been going for, and that's one thing. Oh, referee gets a count of 1 on that one. Didn't like what he saw with Stewart's knee right there and had to break it for potentially dangerous.
That was pretty close to 2 back points also.
He got the 1 second call. You need 2 seconds or 3 seconds to get yourself 2 points right there. 6 seconds left. Stewart's going to hold on here, and he'll go into the second period with a 4-1 lead. Like we said earlier, Stewart's quickness really the telling tale of this match so far. I mean, we're only 3 minutes into it, but you can tell he's just out-moving Kimball left and right, keeping him guessing.
He's got 2 good takedowns on him, mostly quickness, and he's going to let him go here and try to do it again.
Escape for Kimball.
This push, that'll make the score 4-2.
Stewart's going to try to work him here a little bit and then tire him out. And Stewart's in great condition, and he'll be able to work him later on in the match, I think.
That's right. You know Stewart won't be. He'll be tiring out, but he won't let it show in that third period. Worked really hard this year, hitting the weights and keep a lot of extra running he does and all that. It's really good, and it helps the team, gets them fired up too. They love to work out with him. There, Kimball gets in deep on a leg shot here. Stewart trying to hold on around the waist to at least go for a stalemate. Stewart not in too bad a position right there as he comes around behind. breaks him down. That's 2 points.
He did a great job there of getting his legs out and moving around for the 2.
That was a scramble situation. It looked to me that Brian Stewart, the defending All-American, just wanted that just a little bit more than Kimball did.
Looked that way.
So that makes our score 6-2 in favor of Stewart. And he's got Kimball down on the mat where he's had him all the match so far, it seems like.
He's been wrestling really well here in this match, I think. Obviously got 3 takedowns on him. That's a pretty good accomplishment so far, moving up a weight.
Taking on the bigger guy. It doesn't seem to phase him at all. Stewart been in control the whole time. But he's just that type of wrestler. He's like we said about Braggs. He thinks he knows he's the best in the nation in his weight class, and he doesn't matter who he's going to go up against. He's going to give it his all, and that's going to be good enough for the win, hopefully. So he lets him go there again, looking for another takedown. 6-3 is the score in favor of Stewart.
He's got about 45 seconds to do it, and hopefully get another takedown and go into the 3rd period, leading about 8-3.
You can tell Kimball looks like he's trying to muscle the smaller Stewart here, but Stewart having none of that.
Stewart's doing a good job of keeping out of the arm ties and things like that in the locks.
Here he comes, ooh, almost. Every time Kimball shoots in, it seems like Stewart's getting about halfway around him before he even gets in there.
Stewart's been in great position every time that Kimball shot in on him.
Ooh, there Kimball in deep again. Stewart again locked in around the chest. He's going to want to hold on to that. Doesn't want to give up a late a tilt by Stewart there. Not quite enough, and now Stewart's on top. 2
Stewart
seconds
just
left.
gets in great position there.
Really did a great job.
Kimball was in deep, and Stewart worked out of it well.
5 more seconds. Stewart might have had himself another takedown, but he's going to go into the 3rd period now with a 6-3 lead, and he's going to choose the down position. Looks like we had a little cotton ball there in the middle of the mat, picked up by one of the trainers. We're ready to wrestle again. Stewart in the bottom position, Kimball on top. Kimball looking for the far arm, far knee breakdown. Stewart right back up on his knees again. Wants to keep his arms free on this. He doesn't want to be hammered down on by the bigger Kimball. He's got.
That's right.
And there
Stewart.
Quite a few Beaver fans had their heart stopped on that move.
I think so.
Went to his back for the roll, almost got caught there, but did a great job of fighting out of it. Kimball back on top, looking to bar an arm maybe on the top there. Stewart turning in there though. I gotta keep saying it's his quickness. Kimball just can't hold on. I dare to say that Kimball's never faced a quicker wrestler this year than Stewart so far.
I doubt it. Stewart is one of the fastest wrestlers I've seen.
There, Kimball's got him broken down pretty good there, though. Stewart's got to be careful not to maybe give up a cheap stalling call here or there. He's got to keep moving, looking for the escape, looking for points.
That's right. He's up 6-3, but he needs to keep
there
moving.
He goes. Oh, excellent.
Reversal for Stewart.
Excellent reversal by Stewart right there. He got the roll, he got Kimball on his hips. Backs are going to give him, maybe thought he might have been able to turn him there, but Kimball back on his feet. And Stewart, nice breakdown right there.
It looked like Stewart just took Kimball's move away from him and turned it into a move for him.
As he's done the whole night. Now he asks Baxter if he maybe should let him go, maybe work for some team points. He's got the 5-point lead.
That'd be nice. We could get that team point back from the match at 142.
Darn right. And he does let him go, looking for a takedown here. He's got to go in quick, though, with only 40 seconds left. Stewart's going to want it. He needs 2 takedowns to get the major decision right here to Kimball's 1 escape. 8-4 is our score with 30 seconds in the 3rd period. Wartburg still up 10-9. Stewart in on the leg right there. He's got a trip. Got to come across the body maybe.
He's got to get that leg.
Kimball holding on.
Arm on the outside there and try to switch off to
There's a good
leg.
shot from the cameras there. You can see Stewart pushing into him. Oh, and they come out of there with no score. That'll probably do it though. And that'll end it.
Another good win for BV there.
Another good one. Brian Stewart ends his career in the Beaver Dome with a win. And I think what he wants more than anything is the team win for this one. And he's helped out that cause as BV takes their first lead of the night, 12-10.
So far, obviously the Blacks' loss hasn't hurt them. Gugama stepped in, won his match, and Stewart moved up to 58 and also won.
That's right. So here we go on to 167-pound sophomore Jim Jagger, a sophomore out of George, comes into this meet with a 23-9 record. He's facing Michael Doyle, the junior from Manchester, defending All-American, coming in at 21-8.
talked about those 3 matches earlier in the season that they had. Jagger lost all 3, but one was fairly close, and the other 2 got out of hand a little bit, but Jagger's still in it.
So as the revenge factor comes out again here, Jagger'd like to get a big win going into the conference tournaments here, maybe switch around seedings a little bit, you know.
There's the possibility there, and hey, with the crowd into it and some big wins already behind for the Beavers, Jagger has a good chance of winning.
The team score is on the line in this match. Both wrestlers attacking the head pretty good right there.
One thing Jagger talked about with us was he had to wrestle his own match against Doyle. He felt that Doyle was wrestling the match for him.
That's right. The All-American kind of took control in their first 3 meetings. Here, Jagger wants to wrestle his style, because when he's wrestling his own style, there aren't a lot of guys that can take him.
That's true. Jagger has a great double leg takedown, and talks about that's one of his greatest attributes.
That's right, really tough on his feet. And he's got to set the tone in this match right here. He's got to take it to Doyle right away. Show him that he's not afraid. Maybe he's lost 3 earlier in the year, and this guy's a defending All-American, but Jagger's one tough wrestler himself.
That's what Brian Stewart was talking about. BV can't second-guess themselves and not be intimidated.
That's right. Well, they got to realize right now that they can wrestle with Wartburg. There's no doubt about it. Now we're coming to the point where they got to realize that they can beat Wartburg, and that's what's going to happen in these last 3 matches.
And I think if they beat Wartburg here, they go into conference and nationals with a great ego boost. And
it's the momentum. It's momentum. That's right. A lot of action here in the first period, but neither of them scoring any points right now, but a lot of shooting in and pushing around here. There, Doyle, nice head shuck there. Gets in on the single leg. Jagger counters nicely. He's got it wrapped around in there. Here comes Doyle up between the legs. He's going to have to try to get his arm through there and spin around. Get behind Jagger. Jagger's got to watch his back on there.
That's right. He could get pinned from that
Those are some really weird situations that you don't want to be in here. But he's doing a good job of holding on. Probably looking for the stalemate is Jagger.
The ref's going to have to watch Jagger's neck there, too, also.
That's got to be a stalemate. There we go. And they get the call. So they'll start back up on their feet. No score here with 48 seconds left in the first period. Referee Young brings them back to the middle to start this one all over again. Doyle really working on that head.
Yeah, that's what Baxter doesn't want Doyle to be doing to Jagger either.
That's right. You work on that neck long enough, you get tired, and that just tires out your whole body. But there, Jagger, nice shuck in on the double leg. He's got to finish. He's got to finish, and he does.
He finishes it. That was a great move by Jagger. 30 seconds left. He gets a takedown for himself.
Said he's tough on his feet. He got into a scramble situation there, and he made the most of it. Now he's got to keep him down. Doesn't want to give up the escape here at the end of the period, but Doyle's looking tough in the top position right now. Jagger's got to hold on to that leg. Coach Baxter yelling his encouragement. There, Jagger comes up with 5 seconds left. Jagger's just got to hold on. Doyle a little hard on that toe right there, it looked like. Clint Young didn't like that, and they're going to break him. Jagger will take the top position with 4.2 seconds left in the first period.
He's got to hold him down. He doesn't want to give up that easy point.
That's right. He's got the 2-point lead, and he'd love to hold on to that going into the second period. Doyle up to his feet quickly. Ooh. Jagger got caught on that one. He had his hands locked as Doyle came back down to the mat, and that's going to be 1 point for Doyle. I don't know. It was pretty quick there, but Doyle seemed to help the ref out a little bit on that one, pointing it out to him. And
yeah, he just kind of dropped down to his knee, knowing that Jagger was already locked.
Yep. Very smart move by the All-American. He's a junior right now. He's got 3 years of experience. He knows these kind of tricks, and there's nothing wrong with it.
That's right.
So we go into the second period. Jagger with the 2-1 lead is going to take the down position.
Jagger's got to work on getting out here. He needs to move. Hopefully let Doyle ride him.
Doyle looking tough on top there. He's got that one arm barred and a deep waist in there. He's looking to turn. Also got the legs locked in here. He's got Jagger in quite a predicament right now.
That's right. Jagger's got to get his legs out of there and get back to his base and get up.
Doyle also looks, like we said before, these Wartburg wrestlers just looking so large. But as we know, wrestling is a sport where you weigh in it, everybody weighs in at the same weight. There's not much, they're both the same size. They both weigh the same. Doyle just looking a lot bigger right now.
That's right. Most of the Wartburg wrestlers have looked a lot bigger than us, but obviously the team score hasn't showed that so far.
That's right. That all that counts is that score and who wins the match. Size is a big factor in wrestling, but it's not the biggest. Uh-oh. Jagger in trouble here. Doyle's got him tilted. Referee counted. That'll be at least 2 back points right there for Doyle.
And that's what Jagger's got to hope to not do.
That's right. He can't be giving up that. So that Mike Doyle takes a 3-2 lead here in the second period with only about 45 seconds left.
And he'll have some riding time along with that.
He'll also get that riding time. I think it's very key for Jagger right now to get out from underneath here. He needs an escape, at least a point right now. Going to the third with the tie score, work on that riding time, see what happens. Like we've said it before, it could come down to both wrestlers on their feet shooting for that last takedown.
That's right. And Jagger has obviously shown the advantage so far with the only takedown.
So 20 seconds to go. Doyle with that 3-2 lead, really working on the arms. Flattened out Jagger really well there, got that arm bar, trying to work on his head a little bit. Doyle really hasn't gotten much done with this. He's just sort of sitting on him. He had that leg hook, and that'll end the second period. 3-2 is our score in favor of Michael Doyle from Wartburg. Doyle's choice, and he's going to choose down. He's really sitting pretty good right now. He's got the 3-2 lead. He's in the down position where it's a lot easier to score. He's looking to get an escape here, take a 2-point lead.
Jagger's got to work off that riding time also.
That's right. That'll probably be Jagger's first concern, is to work off a little bit of that riding time. It looks like, to me, be about 1:30 right now, so he's got a little bit to work on.
He's either going to have to try to work that off or
couldn't get it.
Go for the takedowns.
Doyle gets the escape, takes the 4-2 lead. Theoretically, it's probably 5-2 with the riding time. Jagger's got to remember that. He's got to fight tough in here now. Took him down in the first period, got to do it again, maybe even twice. There he is on the legs again. Nice single leg shot by Jagger.
He's got to keep that in bounds and work it in bounds. He lost the single leg there, though.
Couldn't get her. There you go. Doyle fought off of it well. Jagger can't be down on himself, though. Got to keep fighting. His Coach Peters yells him a little bit of encouragement there, telling him he's doing a great job, which he is.
Yeah, he's got to stay up on his game. You know, like we saw earlier, Dyer got down on himself, and he lost the major decision.
Uh-oh, and there Doyle, really quick, shoved the head down, got behind really fast. That's just power and quickness from the All-American.
Once again, that was head control.
Let's Jagger go here. Now we got to look. Jagger only down by 3. With 1:13 left, 2 takedowns for Jagger is not out of the question.
That's right. That's a little bit risky by them there. Doyle.
But there he goes. Jagger's taking the shots, but like we said, the head control is the key thing there. Doyle just took his head, put her to the mat, and there's nowhere for Jagger to go with that. Doyle gets behind for another takedown, takes the 8-4 lead. Now Doyle in on the leg.
And Jagger's got to work out of there.
Jagger's got to counter that. Can't be giving up the extra team points like we said. Still working for the win, though, with 43 seconds left. In this sport, anything can happen. There's no doubt about it.
That's right. Jagger's great on his feet, and he can take him down, I think.
See another good shot at Coach Baxter there. He's really looking for the big dual meet win here to go into the next weekend. And Jagger could be a big part of that. Takes in the shot again. Doyle with But Jagger scrambles really well out of that situation. Looked like Doyle might have had him tossed to his back there, but Jagger did a good job of fighting off and coming out into a neutral position.
Jagger did a great job of staying off his back there. That's definitely what he wanted to do, is stay off his back. And now he's got in on the leg, and he wants to get this takedown.
Right. Oh, Doyle just very powerful. You can tell he gets his hips. He just has so much strength in his hips that he can push around Jagger every once in a while. And there he gets another 2 points. That'll make the score 10-4 with riding time 11-4, I believe, and that'll give Wartburg another 3-point decision there, giving them the 13-12 lead in the dual score. And here we come to 177 pounds. Kind of a special one for me, Wade Meyer, like we've been talking. The Wartburg wrestler at 177 is Blake Williams.
From Decorah, Iowa, the hometown of their Brad Haugen.
That's right. He's a freshman. I've been wrestling with him for many years. It's kind of a special treat for me to see him, but with the team score on the line, we got to be looking at Jagger here to get a big win for BV. Or Kruger, excuse me. Kruger.
And this is one of the matches we talked about. It was toss-up. neither one of these guys had wrestled each other this year yet. And however, Carlton did, and he beat Williams. And if he was in the lineup, there might have, BV might have been thought about getting major decision even maybe.
You never know. Their first match was pretty close. I think Carlton only won by a 1-0 score. Williams comes in as a freshman with a very impressive record at 21-8. And I got to give a little special shout. I know that his folks are going to be watching here, so Roger and Sally Williams would like to say hi to you and hope you're having fun watching this, as much fun as we're having commentating for it. Williams took a shot there, couldn't get anything out. Kruger fought it off really well. Now he's got a front headlock on the side. Williams with his Pat and Kelly. He's caught on back. Kruger.
Kruger did a great job there. Williams did the move, but Kruger had a great counter for it.
Kruger, a lot of power. You can see Kruger with those big arms and legs right there. Really kept his position well. He's been fighting off an injury of his own. Had a few sore ribs earlier on in the week.
But Kruger's no slouch himself as a freshman, coming in at 16-8.
And as Coach Baxter will tell you, this kid is tougher than nails.
That's right. Second place finish at state last year, was not real satisfied with that, and has been working a lot harder in college here.
That's right. Now he's got Williams flattened out on the mat, puts a leg in. Looks a little high, might want to get back a little bit. Barn and arm there on the other side.
That's right, Kruger's got to stay back, and
up.
Williams got it.
Williams has a leg there, and he gets the 2-point reversal. Like we said, that leg riding really, if you get too high on there, it's a really good advantage, or a good opportunity for the other wrestler to kind of shake you off there. Really not much you can do, as Williams did.
Williams did a great job there. He got his backed out of there and came around for a 2-point reversal.
Now Williams working on the legs. His dad was his own high school coach over at Decorah. Blake finished 6th and last year finished 3rd in the state tournament. As we said, Kruger coming off his 2nd place finish at state.
And also 4th the year before. So we got some high quality freshmen here wrestling.
Yes, we do. Looks like we might have a little bit of blood on the mat here. New college rules state that there can be no blood whatsoever exposed anywhere on the mat, so they got to take time to clean all that off. Looks like he's got a little gash there above his eye.
Yeah.
As Baxter gives a little encouragement to his boy, Matt Kruger.
Talking about how Kruger got a little bit high there, and he's got to stay back on the hips if he's going to ride the legs.
Now that he's underneath, and Williams has been throwing in the legs early on here too. Maybe both wrestlers be trying to, working from that position. That could be key here in the match. So it looks like we got it all cleared off, and we're ready to wrestle again. Kruger going first down. Williams again throwing those legs in, looking to maybe got the arm, and Kruger did a nice job of shaking him off and getting the escape, making the score 3-2 in favor of Matt Kruger from Buena Vista College.
That was a great job, just powering up to his feet and getting out for the escape.
On the side of the mat there, out of bounds goes Williams, and they'll go back to the middle.
Kruger has wrestled a couple Wartburg guys this year, and one was 150-pounder Rudd Nelson, and he split with him, and so who knows what this match will bring us.
There, Williams gets in on the single leg. He's looking to turn that into some points, comes up between there. Probably got to turn himself around. Kruger holding on for dear life right there, maybe looking for the stalemate. Right there on the edge of the mat. Williams coming around, that's probably out of bounds, and it is. No points given for Clint Young. Both men will go back to the center.
Kruger did a great job of staying off it there and holding off the takedown.
So back to the middle we go as the first period winds down. It looks like Kruger going to the second, holding on to a 3-2 lead over Williams. Now, Blake's kind of an interesting story of himself. As you know, I know him pretty well, and we've been talking. He started the year at 190 pounds after wrestling 160 last year in high school. As we know, John Doyle, the senior, only had a half a year of eligibility left, and so they saved him for the second half. Blake started out at 190. The coaches thought he did a great job, and they asked him to move down to 177, and he's keeping right up. And like
obviously, yeah, he's 21-8 record.
21-8, and here he's looking for the escape. Kruger hanging tough, can't hold on. Williams got 1 point escape, ties the match at 3.
Kruger working a little bit of a duck under there on the outside edge of the mat. He's got to do that in the middle.
Again, we got a little blood, it looks like. Kruger this time got a little bloody nose there. They're going to get that patched up. We should take a minute here to talk about the coaches in this meet. We haven't got around to it. Of course, everyone here at BV knows Al Baxter. He's the student dean of students here. Just the greatest guy here ever going to meet. He comes into this meet as a coach with 197, 66, and 2 record. That's a 747 winning percentage. And he's facing off Jim Miller, who's only in his 3rd year at Wartburg.
Got 50 wins already.
50 wins, only 6 losses and 1 tie. That's an 886% winning percentage.
We got some high-quality coaches and
2 of the best in the nation, and anyone will agree with you on that one.
And as you can see, it reflects on their teams.
That's right. Back to the action now. Kruger and Williams tied up at 3. Williams trying to get around behind, but Kruger does a nice job of fighting that off.
Kruger shot in there. He had to keep his head up if he wanted to get that takedown.
Both of these men look like they're good inside wrestlers, trying to get the tie-ups, forcing their wrestlers here and there, you know, looking for the open opportunity. On the edge of the mat there.
That was a nice temp there. Kind of a tilt.
Kind of tilt by Kruger. Both men end up out of bounds. We're going to go back to the center starter all over. This could be a key match for Buena Vista. Like we said, Wartburg probably holds the advantage at 190 with John Doyle, but then we go into heavyweight where sophomore Jay Huff, coming off a national qualifying performance last year, goes in against Jesse Molinar, a junior who he has beaten rather handily already this year. It could come down to the big boys.
That's right. And if it does, I think BV has the advantage.
They've got the advantage. What we need to do here, Kruger probably get the win, Riesland to keep it close, and leave it up to Huff to do what he can do.
That's right. Huff's been a little bit upset with the season so far. He's been injured, and he's really ready to go wrestle this match.
Well, we're back to Kruger and Williams here. Both of them kind of wrestling on the side of the mat, it looks like. Neither of them really staying around that middle. A lot of motion. Williams gets a front headlock locked in there, but can't get around. And what's it? Young gives 2 points to... No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Baxter's yelling at Kruger there. He's got to make those moves in the inside of the mat, and
right.
He's looked like Kruger telegraphed that move a little bit there, and
Williams is ready for it.
Williams is ready for it. He's right.
Now, Kruger trying to work from a front headlock maybe, but again they go to the side as we get a shot at Wartburg coach Jim Miller right there. Kruger back to the action, tried to lock up a leg, couldn't get it. Brings Williams down to the mat.
He's got the head control there, and he had to keep that in bounds.
He really does. Yep, got to keep it in the center, both these fellas. We're tied up with only 7 seconds left in the second period. Looks like
no riding time.
No riding time so far. Looks like we got a little more blood from Kruger there, so both of them will take their respective sides here and we'll get it all cleaned up. No, with the timeout for injury like this, the coaches aren't allowed to do any actual coaching on the side there, so Baxter probably just stood over there to make sure his boy was all right. Williams, not calling timeout, did get a chance to talk to his coach and see what he needed to do to come out in the end of the second period and going into the third.
I'm sure Jim Miller told him to just take her easy these last 10 seconds and not getting taken down.
All right, so here we go. Sorry to cut you off there. We go into the third period. Kruger's going to take the down position, looking to probably escape right away, take the lead there.
Yeah, he can't let Williams ride him for a minute and get a point.
Williams breaks him down there, gets him on the side of the mat. There he comes in. Williams put the legs in, and Kruger gets it hooked up. And he gets a 2-point reversal. That's very big.
Wild on that one. They like that call.
That's very big right there. Again, Williams a little high with the legs, couldn't quite hold on. Kruger did an excellent job of shaking him off, grabbing the leg, and getting the 2-point reversal.
Basically the same thing that Williams did to him earlier.
Basically, and here Williams turns in quick on the legs.
Yeah, he's got a hold of the leg, and Kruger's got to watch. Same thing happen to him again.
That's right. Got to be careful. You got to stay behind the arms of your opponent in situations like this. Kruger's locked in on the crotch. They're trying to get him turned over, maybe.
Kruger's got to be real careful here, not to give up another reversal and tie the score up.
Williams is inching back, kind of still got that leg hooked up, and here comes Williams up on he's got a double leg, and Kruger, very wisely, I believe, gives up the 1-point escape.
That's right. Now it's 5-4 match. Kruger's still winning.
Again, another match going to come down to which wrestler wants it more on their feet.
That's right. Third period wrestling once again.
Here we go, and the crowd's getting pretty fired up for it. They want their man Kruger to give the Beavers another lead. Williams takes a little shot in the leg, couldn't get it. There's Kruger in deep.
Once again, Kruger's on the edge of the mat with the double leg.
He's got it. Williams fighting off as best he can. There, gets a crossface, breaks his hands, and we get no advantage to either wrestler. Referee Young will bring him back to the center. We'll start over with 51 seconds left in the third period. Kruger with the 5-4 lead.
Kruger's got to be a little cautious here, but he can't give up those stalling points either.
That's right. Doesn't want to be backing away like he seems to be doing right now. He's got to keep instigating that action.
Yeah, he did a good job of circling
down.
back in there. And now he's got Williams pulling off the mat.
Obviously, riding time not going to be a factor in this match. It's going to come down to probably who gets the last takedown here.
That's right. If Williams from Wartburg.
There's Williams. Oh, quick on the leg there. Gets to the outside.
Kruger's got to fight that off.
Kruger's fighting the whizzer with that one. Williams is coming up to his knees.
Williams is doing a good job there picking that up.
Come around.
He's got to scoot around.
Kruger's locked in through the crotch there, and a stalemate.
Kruger did a great job there.
Stalemate called by Clint Young, brings it back up.
We only got 14 seconds left.
That was pretty close there. Williams is in really well. Here they go.
Kruger's got to move. Kruger's got the front headlock there.
Kruger's got locked up. 3 seconds left. He just wants to hold on. And there he goes.
And once again, BV wins another big toss-up match.
Big toss-up match. Matt Kruger pulling off the 5-4 decision over Blake Williams of Wartburg. And that's got to pump up these last two wrestlers. BV takes the 15-13 lead going into 190 pounds.
And this should help Riesland against Dowley also.
Riesland, very emotional wrestler, fired up, very confident, big kid. Big kid, also played on the BV football team at a linebacker, did an excellent job, and you can see, as you saw that last shot there, Kruger still kind of hurting on his ribs there.
And BV's got two freshmen at 177 and 190. That's a pretty good deal there coming up in the next few years.
That's right. As we see a good shot at Jay Huff there, he's getting ready for his heavyweight match. Like we said, it could come all down to him.
And I think BV once again has the advantage.
I'll tell you, if it's going to come down to somebody, you want it to be Jay Huff.
That's right. National qualifier as a freshman last year at heavyweight. Doesn't happen too often.
Nope. But here we go at 190. It's Riesland against Molinar. Molinar comes in with a... Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Dowley. Excuse me. My bad. Riesland against John Dowley. Dowley comes in. He's a senior, like we said.
Three-time All-American.
Three-time All-American with a 20-1 record this year.
And Riesland gets a point for Dowley grabbed the singlet.
Dowley, yeah, just kind of a little flurry there on the edge of the mat. And Dowley, referees don't let you grab that singlet. That's an unfair advantage there. There's, Riesland looking to maybe lock up a front headlock on that. Couldn't quite get it. There Molnar in on a single leg. He's got
Dowley.
Dowley, excuse me again. There I go. Dowley gets the single leg. Riesland fights it off really well though. Good sprawl right there. Comes back up. One thing Riesland's got to do is he can't be intimidated. He's got to push some action too. He can't let Dowley take all the shots, or else, as we see, referee Young's gonna get the stalling calls.
That's right. And Riesland is pretty quick on his feet, and he's got some moves himself. He's got to keep working there, and he only lost 6-2 last match, and he's still in this match.
That's right. Out of bounds they go. They'll bring it back to the center. Our score is 1-0 in favor of Riesland. Team score 15-13, Buena Vista. Both these big men tying it up inside, trying to keep it on the center. Dowley looking to maybe keep that head control like Wartburg's been doing all day, or all evening.
Right.
But Riesland having none of that, fighting in there tough. Riesland was a state runner-up last year for his
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row from
That's
Webster City.
Only matches he lost his last 2 years of high school.
We're in the state finals. And as good as an accomplishment as that is, you know, a guy like Riesland doesn't like to settle for second place, and he's taken that into his college career now, and he's working really hard in both sports, football and wrestling.
That's right. Basically the same boat as Kruger there. Both second last year, and they're working really hard this year and worked their way into the starting lineup.
That's right, which is a very big accomplishment for a freshman. Not too many freshmen can step into a starting lineup, especially in powerhouse teams like Buena Vista and Wartburg, you know, and really do a great job like all the freshmen we've seen tonight have done.
That's right.
3 for Buena Vista, Williams and Geary from Wartburg.
All of them have been great wrestlers this season, and probably a lot of them looking at nationals.
A lot of national qualifiers we've seen tonight. I think we've seen quite a few All-Americans too, if I'm not coming up here in 2 weeks. 15 seconds left in the first period. Riesland holding on to that 1-0 lead. There, Dolly and quick on the legs, but Riesland
did a real good job there to hold off that takedown.
That's right.
15 seconds left.
Both of these guys very quick for big men, really are. Really moving well out here. And Riesland's going to go into the second period with the 1-0 lead. We'd like to say here, Ryan Riesland, he had an older brother that went to BV, Ray Sonny Riesland. He's a Hall of Famer in the Buena Vista athletic department in both baseball and football. So both these Rieslands, 2 sport stars for Buena Vista.
And I'm sure Ryan's looking ahead for himself, hopefully being a Hall of Famer in 2 sports.
You bet, and it could all start off right here tonight, maybe.
That's true.
A little bit of history we're going to put here on Innovation Video. All right. Riesland starts from the down position, quick to his feet.
Did a good job there, just getting up onto his feet.
Dowley holds on to that leg, though. Riesland could keep coming around here, maybe, get him flattened out.
He's got to watch that half, though, there.
Kicks out of it well. Dowley did a nice job recovering from that because Riesland was up pretty quick on his feet. Could have gotten the escape there. Dowley breaks him back down.
Dowley riding a little bit parallel right now, though, and he needs to work off to the side.
That's right, got to keep working for that fall. Out of bounds, referee Young will bring back to center as you see Coach Baxter and Peters giving their encouragement to young Ryan Riesland. As you see, 1-0 is our score. Riesland in the bottom position for BV. Comes up off his base. Doesn't want to give up that arm, but looks like Dolly's doing a nice, a little bit on the headgear there.
Yeah.
Riesland doing a nice job of trying to keep his arms out in front of him, but he's going to have to come up off his base there.
Dolly also has to work from that position, though, too.
Both wrestlers.
He's just pretty much holding off there. He's not doing a whole lot either.
I haven't seen Dolly come off the hips yet. Referee Young's got to call him for this. Riesland really can't do much when the guy's sitting on you like that. And you can tell he's just weighing down on him, not really working much towards the fall or turn or anything like that.
Both men got to be worried about stalling calls here. And the refs, or the crowd's really getting into that.
I hate to harp on, but I haven't seen Dowley come off the hips and try something to turn him over yet. And Riesland's it looks like he's doing all he can just to try to stay up, but with all that weight sitting on the hips like that,
that's right.
Really can't get much going.
Riesland, he's got to do a little bit of work himself. He's got to get his hips out, then hopefully Dowley can't sit back there and ride him. And obviously by now, Dowley has some riding time. And
racked up about 1:30 right now, and Riesland's got to worry about that because that'll tie up the score, really. Oh, a little quick on the whistle there was referee Young. Dowley wasn't quite set yet. I'll start him over again. There, Dowley's a little quick on it.
Wartburg's been called for that earlier tonight.
Been a few times, look like they're trying to take the quick advantage. Referee Young's caught him each time, though.
Riesland's got to work to get his arm out there. He was almost out, except for he had to clear his arm.
That's right, got to come up quick now. There, Dowley goes out to work on the head, trying to get an arm bar there.
Riesland's
looking to turn Riesland.
Working that off, and referee Clint Young, he has to watch the arm there.
Got to be careful.
Riesland's just tough.
That's right. As dangerous a sport as wrestling looks, there are a lot of rules out there that try to protect the wrestlers to avoid injury as best possible. And Clint, that's a good example of it right there.
That's right.
So now it's Dowley's choice in the third period. He's going to choose down, and with 2 minutes of riding time, what we're basically looking at right now is a tie score.
That's right. It's once again come down to the third period.
I can't see Riesland riding for 2, and there, Dowley's out right away with only 3 seconds gone. So he'll hold his riding time point. And now it's going to come down to the takedown. Theoretically 2-1. Right now on the scoreboard it shows 1-1. So we'll wait and see how this turns out. Another match looks like it might be one on his feet.
Riesland's got to work, and
Riesland's got to take a shot in here. You really can't let Dowley do all the action because you know Young's been looking for the stalling.
That's right. And Riesland looked like he's coming after him a little bit there.
Coming at him, but he's got to move in on the hips. A little bit of talking going on down there in the corner. Dowley maybe trying to use a little intimidation, knowing that he's a senior and he's taking on a freshman in Ryan Riesland.
However, I'm sure Riesland's not real intimidated.
I don't think so. He's a tough kid. Really big for 190. Looks big for a 190-pounder. Does a good job quick. Really, these are just two really fine athletes going at it at this weight. I think Dowley's looking for the stalling call there. He's been talking to Clint Young a little bit. Thinks that Riesland's backing off. Like I said, Riesland's got to get in on the legs maybe here once or twice.
And another thing Riesland told us was that he had to watch out for the single that Dowley had.
We've seen it 3 or 4
a couple times earlier.
That's right. Very quick to get on that outside single. Riesland so far done a good job of countering it, kicking his hips back and getting outside there.
Riesland does a good job there, making an attempt to stay in the middle of the mat and show that he's working.
That's right. What I think he's got to do, though, because I don't know how long referee Young's will let this go, he's going to have to take a shot on the legs. Dowley's getting a little bit frustrated, which maybe to Riesland's advantage here if he gets him a little upset. You'd hate to see this one won on a riding time point here, so Riesland's going to have to go in for the legs.
Riesland's got to move here and try to get a takedown.
Crowd's getting fired up. There's Riesland in on the leg. Oh! Got in deep on the low single, couldn't hold on.
Riesland had a deep single leg there, and all he had to do was pick it up, but Dowley did a nice job of kicking out.
Dowley stepped right out of there. Riesland got a little cut on the mouth there, probably took a heel there. So as the trainers work on him. Good a shot there of our trainers in action, all the coaches there wiping him down. Riesland's really proven himself here. He can, obviously Dowley, one of the top 190 pounders in the nation. Riesland's hanging right with him.
And Riesland hasn't wrestled all year either.
That's right.
He had to sit out a little bit earlier in the season because of football still going on.
Yep. Started out a little bit slow. He looks at the clock. He's got to get going. Crowd's on its feet. There Riesland shoots in. Dowley kicks back with the front headlock. Looks like Dowley's looking to hang on now.
That's right.
A little shove there out of bounds. Don't know what that accomplished, but with 9 seconds left, Riesland needs a very quick takedown right here. We're going to see if he can get it done.
He's got to move Dowley and try to get down on the leg.
There he goes.
Got it.
4 seconds left. He's got to finish.
Oh.
Excellent effort by Ryan Riesland. You got to credit the freshman on that one.
1 point riding time for Doyle. Winner by 2-1 decision, John Doyle.
Wins 2-1 on riding time, and we've got a 16-15 score.
That's right.
Heavyweight.
Riesland's got to be happy with it. And here's what we said. It's coming down to the big boys. Jay Huff, the sophomore out of Sheldon, taking on Jesse Molinar. And listen to this crowd. This crowd is going wild. They love this guy. Jay Huff, he's one of the most exciting heavyweights you're going to see. He's quick, heck of an athlete, always keeps it moving.
And just a great guy. Everybody around campus loves him.
That's right. Really involved in all the student activities outside of wrestling. Does a great job. Really good for the sport of wrestling. Almost like an advertisement in himself. You know, he's just a great guy. Everybody knows him. They call him Bubba, and he's going to go out here and try to give BV the team victory here against number 5 ranked Wartburg.
Like we said earlier, though, Huff hasn't been real satisfied with his season so far. He had a couple of injuries early on, and he hasn't had a whole lot of practice and matches, so
these next 2 weeks are going to be big for Jay Huff.
That's right. He's working to get a lot of wrestling in these next 2 weeks.
That's really frustrating for a wrestler, you know. I mean, especially a guy like Jay Huff, you know. Like we said, qualified for nationals as a freshman last year at a very tough weight at heavyweight. That's really tough to do. And now this year has to sit out a little bit because of the injuries. You know he didn't want to do it. He felt like he let the team down, but everybody knows that they need this guy come nationals time, and he's just the guy that's going to be there to help him out as he is tonight.
That's right. Huff will score a lot of points.
He will.
In the conference tournament.
That's right. He's a big scorer he's quick for a heavyweight, can rack up the individual points, and I'm sure you were saying the team points are going to be big for Buena Vista next week. But right now, all that anybody's got on their minds is, as you can see, Coach Baxter right there, is the team score tonight. BV's trailing by 1 point in this final match. All they need is a win. Both heavyweights, again, just kind of feeling themselves out. Huff, as we said, won the first meeting between these two guys. I believe it was a
7-point win for Huff.
11 to 5, a 6-point win. That was early on in the season at the Iowa Small College duels. But I'm sure he's not thinking about that right now. All he's thinking about is getting the win tonight and giving the Beavers a big home win in the season finale. And there's Huff there. Just like we said, very quick for a heavyweight. In on the legs, gets the takedown, breaks him down right away again after Molinar. And there Molinar jumps right back up and gets the escape to make the score 2-1. This looks like it's going to be one heck of a match. Way to finish off one heck of a meet.
That's right, Brad.
So we're both back up. They're both back up on their feet now. Huff and Molinar. Huff showing his quickness in there to get in deep on the legs. Molinar not giving up though. Both these guys know what this meet means to both teams. Both teams want the momentum going into next week. They want to be able to come into the tournament. Seeding is very big. Huff looking for a top seed right there, which would be good for him to let the second and third seeded guys beat each other up before he has to face one of them in the finals.
That's right. Huff's just looking to get a lot of matches in these next 2 weeks and get prepared for the Nationals.
That's
that
right.
He'll hopefully qualify for.
You bet. As many of the wrestlers told us when we talked to them, their season, they may have been disappointed, but none of that matters right now because the conference and national tournaments is a whole new ball game. And both these teams are going to be very well represented in the national tournaments, with the Upper Iowa Conference giving, I believe, 34 bids to the national tournament. So even if you're third in the conference, you still have a good shot of making the national tournament.
Right, with 10 weight classes, 3 people at each weight, and then 4 extra.
4 wild cards. So even there's going to be 4 fourth-place finishers in the conference that are going to be making it. BV could have a lot of guys going to the big dance in March.
Same with Wartburg.
That's right.
They'll be represented as Iowa Conference real well, as you said.
So Molinar gets his choice in the second period. He's going to choose down. Huff will take the top position, and referee Young starts him off. Huff got a deep waist there, lets Molinar go. Figuring he's the better wrestler on the feet, that's where he wants to prove himself. Molinar takes a quick shot in there, but Huff fights it off well. Back to the tie up there.
Got a 2-2 match here. Huff's got 1 takedown and Molinar 2 escapes so far.
Huff. There goes Huff going in, looking for the inside trip. Couldn't quite do it. There he's in on a single leg. Again, the quickness of barely even bent over. Steps the inside trip. Got Molinar down, but's got to get his other leg down on the mat.
That's right. He's got to work across and get both legs.
There he picks it up. This could
picks it up. He's got to get a good trip here.
Molinar doing a heck of a job fighting it off. And there comes Jay Huff.
He's got the same takedown twice there. Both times he's used that takedown.
That's right. 2 takedowns for Big Bubba, and he lets him go to keep a 4-3 lead. The crowd's been on its feet since this match started. They're looking for Jay Huff to pull out the Beaver victory, and he's doing a great job so far.
Yeah, everybody been talking about this meet all across campus this whole week.
That's right. This is the big one. They knew that strange things happen in the Beaver Dome. We've seen some big upsets in basketball, volleyball. No one likes to play here, and I think Wartburg's finding out the same thing as Jay Huff again. Inside on the inside trip, takes him down, lets him go, and he holds on to a 6-4 lead now in the second period.
Huff's just doing a takedown clinic here.
That's right, especially for the big man. Drops down really well, gets right back up. He's in control, really doing a heck of a job, getting Molinar flustered up there.
Yeah, he's been changing levels real well, and he's got in